I'm sorry if I seem uninterested or I'm not listening or I'm indifferent. Truly, I ain't got no business here, but since my friends are here, I just came to kick it. Really, I would rather be at home all by myself, not in this room with people who don't even care about my well-being. I don't dance, don't ask, I don't need a boyfriend, so you can go back. Please enjoy your party, I'll be here somewhere in the corner under clouds of marijuana with this boy who's hollering I can hardly hear. Over this music I don't listen to, and I don't wanna get with you, so tell my friends that I'll be over here. Oh, here, oh, here, oh, I ask myself, what am I doing here? Oh, here, oh, here, and I can't wait till we can break up. Excuse me if I seem a little unimpressed with this, an antisocial pessimist. Usually I don't mess with this, and I know you mean only the best, and your intentions aren't to bother me, but honestly I'd rather be somewhere with my people. We can kick it and listen to music with the message, and we'll discuss our big dreams, how we plan to take over the planet. So pardon my manners, I hope you'll understand that I'll be here, not there in the kitchen with the girl who's always gossiping about her friends. Oh, tell them I'll be here, right next to the boy who's throwing up cause he can't take what's in his cup no more. Oh God, why am I here? Oh, 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 here. Oh, 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 here. Oh, I ask myself, what am I doing here? Oh, oh, here. Oh, here. And I can't wait till we can. Hours later, congregating next to the refrigerator. Some girl talking about the hate that she ain't got none. How did it ever come to this? I should've never come to this. Holla at me, I'll be in the car when you're done. I'm standoffish, don't want what you're offering, and I'm done talking. Awfully sad it had to be that way. So tell my people if they're ready that I'm ready, and I'm standing by the TV with my beanie low. I'll be over here, oh, here, oh, here, oh, I ask myself, what am I doing here? Oh, here, oh, 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 here, and I can't wait till we can break up out of here, yeah. Ready, then I'm ready, yeah, yeah. If you're ready, then I'm ready, yeah, yeah. If you're ready, then I'm ready, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry if I seem uninterested or I'm not listening or I'm indifferent. Truly, I ain't got no business here, but since my friends are here, I just came to kick it. Really, I would rather be at home all by myself, not in this room with people who don't even care about my well-being. I don't dance, don't ask, I don't need a boyfriend, so you can go back. Please enjoy your party, I'll be here somewhere in the corner under clouds of marijuana with this boy who's hollering I can hardly hear. Over this music I don't listen to, and I don't wanna get with you, so tell my friends that I'll be over here. Oh, here, oh, here, oh, I ask myself, what am I doing here? Oh, here, oh, here, and I can't wait till we can break up. Excuse me if I seem a little unimpressed with this, an antisocial pessimist. Usually I don't mess with this, and I know you mean only the best, and your intentions aren't to bother me, but honestly I'd rather be somewhere with my people. We can kick it and listen to music with the message, and we'll discuss our big dreams, how we plan to take over the planet. So pardon my manners, I hope you'll understand that I'll be here, not there in the kitchen with the girl who's always gossiping about the friends. Oh, tell them I'll be here, right next to the boy who's throwing up cause he can't take what's in his cup no more. Oh God, why am I here? Oh, 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 here. Oh, 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 here. Oh, I ask myself, what am I doing here? Oh, oh, here. Oh, here. And I can't wait till we can. Hours later, congregating next to the refrigerator. Some girl talking about the hate that she ain't got none. How did it ever come to this? I should've never come to this. Holla at me, I'll be in the car when you're done. I'm standoffish, don't want what you're offering, and I'm done talking. Awfully sad it had to be that way. So tell my people if they're ready that I'm ready, and I'm standing by the TV with my beanie low. I'll be over here, oh, here, oh, here, oh. I ask myself, what am I doing here? Oh, here, oh, oh, here. And I can't wait till we can break up out of here, yeah. Ready, then I'm ready, yeah, yeah. If you're ready, then I'm ready, yeah, yeah. If you're ready, then I'm ready, yeah, yeah.
Meditating, levitating, greetings from the Golden State. Mr. X to the Z, concentrate, come walk with me. Your shit sounds so awkwardly. I don't rhyme, I just stomp down beat. Real estate state, section 8. Which one would you rather take? Concentrate, move that way. Show me how you regulate. Hold up, wait, that shit's fake. Get these niggas up out my face. Shake the room, business boom. Turn this up now, stay in tune. Hypnotized by the way she move. Take your time, you might arrive too soon. Concentrate, 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 concentrate. Bring that back, what was that? Oh my lord, she got back. So precise, so intact. Oh my god, who is that? Hibernate, consummate. Man was made to procreate. My estate generates as if my family name was Gates. Days of grace, live big place. Why be good, nigga? Go be great. Hit the brakes, crack them crates. How you wanna run, going state to state? Contemplate, demonstrate. Mind over mayhem, no mistakes. Lift some weights, eat some steaks. But you don't really want that face to face. So let's relax, check your track. Don't let your concentration snap. I love the way she arch her back. Like how motherfuckers supposed to handle that. Concentrate, 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 concentrate. Bring that back, what was that? Oh my lord, she got back. So precise, so intact. Oh my god, who is that? Breath control, touch your soul. Just maintain, don't lose control. Participate, congratulate. Cause everything else be seen as hate. Remain in place, the same mind state. Get off your ass and celebrate. Congregate, associate. Don't fuck yourself, procrastinate. Dilate to an all-time great. Calculate the next move I make. Crack the safe, keep that ace in my waistband just in case. I'm no rat, can't run your race. Not too good, don't fit my taste. I love the way she make that shake, making it hard to concentrate. Bring that back, what was that? Oh my lord, she got back. So precise, so intact. Oh my god, who is that? Concentrate, 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 concentrate.
Good.
Mic check one. Let's see who here with me today. The two and the few that are here, let me know that you're here. What's good with everyone today? Short show today. I don't really have a whole lot to say. I don't have much of a topic today. Couple things that came across my timeline I'd speak on, talk about it. I'm not going to bore anyone with stuff today. I don't know. If you are in, thank you, Darnell Hunter. He said sounds good on this end. Twin, what's good? Roz, what's good? Kim Moore Everhart, what's good? She said lunchtime. Well, I'm about to feed you. How about that? I'm about to feed you with some knowledge that some people probably already know, but I want to reinforce it. I want to go back to the roots of Wyatt Live. Loud and clear. David Herring, what's good, big bro? Good brother. Let's go to the roots of Wyatt Live. I'm tired of talking that I told you so stuff. I'm over that. No, sir. The people that's been here from the sandbox, they know what I had been saying. Brenda Burt, what's good, sis? There's no sense in talking about that I told you so stuff. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm just gonna go back to the original, to the stomping grounds of Wyatt Live, and just talk about the things that, we used to always talk about. That consisted of talking about how to get some to the bag, to the money, talk about how we can work together. Like something kept me up last night. I shouldn't have let it keep me up, but it kept me up last night. It was on my mind heavy. A new watcher. I don't know if it was on YouTube, Facebook. I kind of forgot. Doesn't matter. They made a comment in the screen, and they said, "Do you only talk about the problems, or do you talk about the solutions?" What's up, Hosh? Hosh Gray. Go check her out. Day-to-Day podcast. Go check her out. Her and her husband. I'll be checking out on that the men's show. I creep in on the lady show sometimes just to infiltrate, to get a little bit of information. I ain't gonna lie. I've been there a few times. In the background, you know how they do me. You know how they act like, not Hoshing them, but I'm just talking about people act like they not here and they watching like this. I can't look, they watching like, I can't stand that motherfucker. I can't stand him. I don't quite do that. I just be like, boy, they crazy there over there. They crazy there. Them girls crazy as hell. I do watch the women's show every once in a while. Yeah, I mean, I don't need a woman to tell me. I can watch that show and find out. I don't need y'all to tell me Nathan. Nothing. I got it. They let you know. But anyway, that all being said, man, I want to go back to the roots, the rooted tootie of the Wyatt Live show. And I mean, I don't want to go all the way back to Black Lives Matter days, twin. I see you put something in the screen. I don't want to go all the way back there. Y'all know I had a conversation about that. I was the only brother on the internet that was talking things in real time. And I'm gonna remind that every day. I was talking in real time, and I was every bad thing in the world. And that's what kind of got me yesterday. And what kept me up was this Charles guy who made a comment in the Wyatt Live comment section over here in the screen. And he said something about, do I only talk about the problems? Good afternoon, Michelle. Good afternoon, John Ludd. He's like, do I only talk about the problems? Do I not have any of the solutions? Do I not have solutions? And I was like, damn, I wonder what type of shows that brother watch. I wonder what that dude really pay attention to, or what shows is on his playlist. I'm just saying, because how could you say that we don't have solutions over here when that's kind of like a oxymoron if you really think about it. Part of the solution, what up, Ed Bentley? Part of the solution is bringing up the real problem. We've lived in a world where we have been misled so much, and our mamas and our daddies have done a wonder on us. We have grown up and lost and we have these false beliefs of religion or of of history of us as a people. We have all this false stuff. And you believe it more when it's taught to you by someone that you love. I just don't want to hurt everybody's feelings when I know some things that you've been taught that would really be devastating to you if somebody told you the truth. Matter of fact, I'm not the one to tell you. You know me, so I'm not the one to tell you. You need someone that you respect, someone who you in love with, and that you would in your mind think that they would never lie to you. So I'm not the one that can tell you the true history of some of the things you've been taught as human beings, man, and us as our people. The things that I'm talking about all the way from Rosa Parks. I'm talking about everything. If you really knew the truth of some of the history that's been taught to you, you would have a different perspective. You would see things different. You would see the game plan that's been put on you to make you feel the way you feel. And that is why you execute life the way you execute life. It only makes sense. If you get people to think and believe something, they'll execute things a certain way. No, I'm not, Darnell. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. People think like that. So Charles may not have been the only one. But I didn't see it as an insult. I really didn't. It's just obviously someone who's never really watched the show on a consistent basis, because it's kind of, now that you say that, Darnell, it kind of makes sense. Maybe it was an infiltrator. I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest with you. Let me tell you why. I want to address it because it shows how ignorant people can be. If you have a relationship problem with your husband or your wife, how do you fix those issues with your husband and wife if you don't discuss what the true problem is? You got to understand what the problem is. How you feel, how I feel. How she feels, how I feel. We have to discuss that with someone. You have to put the real issues on the table. You can't just be sitting around here just being mad. You got to discuss what makes you angry. Put the real stuff out on the table. And I'll be honest with you, I'm probably one of the only ones that do that. Just being honest with you. I'm one of the only ones that has been brave enough to say what needs to be said out loud. And I can handle all the people who call me the names and go. I don't have a problem with that, because they look so foolish over here fooling around with me. You know what I'm saying? When they don't believe, or they don't want to accept, or they don't see things the way I see them, that's fine. They the ones look foolish. I don't go to their house. I don't get on their page. I don't go talk to them. I don't say anything. I know how they believe. I know how they perceive things. I know what they believe. They still believe it's a Santa Claus. I'm not the guy that's going to ruin Christmas for them. I'm not the guy that's going to tell them, it ain't really no Santa Claus. You know that, right? And y'all know what I mean when I say the Santa Claus. I've been using that for the longest. They've been taught, as a kid, you're taught something. You believe in Santa Claus. The logic in a Santa Claus doesn't really even make sense, especially for people that live the way we lived in the hood. And that is, we had no chimney. We already knew that nobody could just leave gifts on the doorstep. Nobody could do that in my neighborhood. So why the hell would we believe in Santa Claus? The only white people that came in the hood in law homes in Lincoln Court, Stanley Row, and all that old shit was CMHA maintenance workers and maybe a PO. Nobody was coming in there. Shit, the milkman wasn't even white. Maybe the mailman. Maybe the mailman. Everybody else was black. So, all that, just believing in Santa and making you believe, that's how they, made you do things right in life. Hey, you better pay. Hey, you better be a good boy. If you're not a good boy, Santa ain't going to leave you nothing. All that old shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. It worked. Santa didn't mean anything to us till about October. You know what I'm saying? You talk that Santa Claus shit in June, July, it was in one ear and out the other. But by October, when leaves start falling down and it start getting cold outside, you know what I'm saying? People start thinking, I better get my shit together in school. My mama and them talking about Santa Claus. I want a gift. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Ed Bentley said the insurance man. Didn't no insurance man come to the hood? Didn't nobody have no damn insurance? Ed, where you what hood? What was the insurance man? We see more encyclopedia dudes than we seen insurance salesmen. And Ross said Santa would have got robbed in Madisonville. Shit, he would have got robbed down the way too. He couldn't land on our roof. Jenny, what's good, sis? She says we grew up with a fireplace, and yes, my little self thought he was coming. Well, yeah, you know, it makes sense in the suburbs of Cincinnati and black people who may have had that set up. But think about it. The majority of us didn't. We didn't really. It wasn't even about that, Jenny. It was the fact that they could put something out like that and it not even be relevant to how we were living, but yet we believed it. And it's always because the people that teach you, the things that they want you to know, those are the people that get us, and they have us like this for decades. They teach you things that are just, and the reason why I bring this up is because it's dear to my heart that I had to break away from my own teachings. My mother, she wasn't the worst teacher in the world. My mother taught me to be very independent. But early childhood, my early days, some of the things that I would hear, I think my mother ended up getting the light. I think she started to understand that the way that she was living and thinking and all that shit was conducive to her environment. You know, if you're dropped off in the jungle, all right, if you wasn't raised in the jungle, you have to adjust your life. You feel me? You have to adjust your life. If they drop you in the jungle without any training, you have to adjust your life to be able to survive in the jungle. But what happens if you're born in the jungle? Ain't that much diverse. Ain't that much that you have to learn how to do, man. Shit, you were living in it, you know. So I think my mother adjusted her life from being in the jungle, being in that concrete jungle. Y'all know how rough it is. And, you know, it's so many traps in the jungle. But my mother never told me. She never put those traps in front of me as if I was supposed to walk in. You know, she knew that I could walk in those traps. And she would always tell me, Rand, you know, you can be anything you want to be. You can do anything you want to do. If you're going to be a truck driver, be the best truck driver, get you some truck drivers to work with you, start a company, blah, 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 blah. And that's just the difference. I was outside talking like that. I was outside talking like that to my friends. I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit. Shit, I got in trouble at school more than for selling candy and stuff like that. And my mother, I got suspended from school for selling candy, potato chips, and all that old stuff, man. I was hitting licks, and my mother was never mad. My mother never got mad at me because I was profiting. I was showing my entrepreneurial spirit. She said, I can't be mad at him, Mom. She was talking to my granny. I can't be mad at him. This is what I know he gonna do. I'd rather him sell candy bar Snickers. I take $40. Well, back then, that was a lot of money. $40 is like taking $100, $200 in and investing. I take $40, buy candy, and have a couple $100 in a week. Just reinvesting. It just started early. It started early. You know, they say that if a child, Brenda Early, what's good? They say if a child is born, when a child is born, they're more likely to go to college if they have a bank account in the kindergarten. If you start a kid out with a bank account in kindergarten, that child is more likely to go to college. I don't even know how they come up with that. It kind of makes sense to me. I tell you what I'd like to do. Later on in the show, what I want to do, I've been trying to find a way that I could, let's talk money today. I've been trying to find a way to help mothers and fathers who may be single mothers, single fathers. I've been really trying to find a way to help them get started. I think what I'm going to do, and you guys can help. You guys can help. I think what we should do is we should raise money. We should raise money I don't know if it's in anybody's budget, but if you're interested, let me know. Lennis Timmons, what's good, bro? Let me know if you're interested in donating maybe $5 a month. And what we'll do with that $5 a month is we'll start out with maybe 10 or 15 kids, maybe 20. Let's see how much money we get. We'll take this money and we'll start a $25 bank account for kids. Okay, these will be kids that we'll all work together. We'll be a board and we'll select these children on our own. Maybe we'll get this in the DMs or whatever. We'll work it out on the Wyatt Live Messenger group. And we'll take 20 kids and we'll open up a $25 bank account for each one of those children. Maybe 10 kids. That's $250. I know we can raise $250. We can raise $250. And this is what I'll do. If we raise $250, I'll put the first $5 in. And then when we raise the 250, I'll match the 250. That'll give us $500. Okay. And what we'll do with that $500, we'll take $25 and open up a savings account for as many kids as we possibly can. So how many is that? 20? That's 20 kids we can open a $25 account for. We do that for 1 year. And then after that 1 year, then we start putting $5 a month in each one of these bank accounts for these children that we choose, not random kids. These kids are kids that we choose. I don't care if it's your grandson, granddaughter, whoever it may be. I think what we can do, because what they're saying, and I believe it, when children have a bank account at an early age, they are more likely to be more drawn in and attracted to financial literacy. So that leads to education, going to college, trade school, something of that nature. So you guys let me know if you want to participate in that. I know money tight, but we mess up so much money on a day-to-day basis amongst us. You know, I don't want to be rude. I don't want to spend anybody else's money, but I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. And I will say this as well. I'll say this. You know, 70% of luxury items in this country are purchased by poor people. Talking Louis Vuitton, we're talking Gucci, you know, we're talking about those Louis Vuitton lines at Kenwood Mall, at Paris Mall, and Jefferson's, all this place, you know, these are malls that I know about here in Florida. I mean, we can't give back. You see what I'm saying? 70% of luxury items, from Mercedes-Benzes to Louis Vuitton to Gucci. My wife and I, we were in Chicago and we went to Nordstrom's. And I'm in Nordstrom's. Now, in Nordstrom's downtown Chicago on Michigan Ave, there's all of these, so many stores on Michigan Ave, right? But we go into Nordstrom's. I've never been in the Nordstrom's. Has anybody ever been to the Nordstrom's in Chicago, downtown on Michigan Ave? Anybody ever seen that store on the inside? It's like going to Paris. It's like going to Paris, literally. I called my wife. She was downstairs. She was shopping, you know, just looking around. She was shopping a little bit. And I went upstairs. On the second floor is the men's section. Okay. Dress shirts, suits, things of that nature. What up, Tony? Hush says, I'm not interested. Okay. Okay. I go upstairs to the second floor to the men's suit division. As I get up the stairs, the escalator, sorry about that, guys. The escalator gets up to the top of the stop, and there's a bar. Nordstrom's literally has a bar in the middle of the showroom or the floor of Nordstrom's. It's like a sports bar right there. They don't serve food. They just serve drinks and little chips and stuff. And I'm like, this is crazy. Now, I've been to a lot of places in my life, but this particular bar was off the chain. It had the sports on all the televisions, you know, and you sit there, you can order a drink by being fitted for a suit. You know, it's crazy. It was really nice. It's probably the nicest Nordstrom I've ever seen. That all being said, when you look downstairs and you see all these shops for the women, they had Burberry, they had Louis Vuitton, they have Gucci, they have all these name brand items in there. And I'm looking at who's in all those stores. It's us, y'all. There was a few white people in there, but it was us. And I'm saying to myself, I went into the Louis Vuitton store with my wife, okay? We're not big Louis Vuitton people. It's you kind of go in, see what the new styles are, I guess. I'm not into the purse bag game. That's my wife thing. So I'm more into the shoe game. I'll show y'all what I specially ordered. I can't wait. I'm going to show y'all. It came in and I'm going to grab it so y'all can check it out. But I was looking at all the stores and I was looking who was in there, and I just, for the hell of me, there was a purse probably as big as this cell phone. All right, it was about this big, had a little hanger on it and shit. It was a purse. And I asked the man, I said, well, my wife's looking at that. What's, you got 3 different colors. I don't know if that's black or gray. What's the tag on those? What's the price on those? Now, you don't ask people how much, in them stores, you don't really ask how much something is. It's kind of like saying, I can't afford it. In my case, I like to know what it costs. I don't care if I can afford it or not. I'm going to ask you how much I'm about to spend. So I look at it and I'm like, okay. How much are those bags? And the little brother that worked there was a young black man. He worked there and I don't know, he had the Jerry curl with the dripping ass shit. They got some weird people that work in them stores. He had the Jerry curl and it was dripping and shit and all over the floor. I'm like, damn, Mike. But I asked him how much it was and he said it was $3,600. Mind you, it was this big with a little bitty handle on it. $3,600. I could think of a whole lot of other shit I could do with, $3,600. I can turn $3,600 into 10 grand in probably 6 months. How much money am I going to get off of a 36? What do I get for $3,600 for this bag? What do I get? I'm just curious. I'm just a capitalist. How do I recover my $3,600 from that bag? I had a brother tell me one time, it was one of my sandboxes who comes here occasionally. And he said, I told y'all stop buying gold chains. And he said, gold is an investment. And I'm like, well, he from over the Rhine. I'm from Law Homes. And see, over the Rhine would make a comment like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, gold chain is not an investment. Okay. It's not the same investment as buying gold block. See, that's kind of like where we are sometimes. What we say is right. We just don't have the right to the right, which makes us wrong. Okay. A gold chain is not an investment. There's a difference between retail gold and gold bars, gold bar investment. Okay. There's a huge difference. When you buy a gold chain, say, let's just use round numbers. If you buy a gold chain for $1,000 out of a jewelry store, soon as you walk out of there, you've lost 30 to 40%, probably more than that. Probably more than that. So how is that an investment? So if you take that gold chain that you bought for $1,000, and I'm just using that because most people pay more than that. I'm just using this for argument's sake. If you buy a gold chain for $1,000 and it's now worth $600 when you walk out the door, who you gonna sell that to for $1,000+? How do you ever? Unless you're gonna fleece somebody and you found a bigger sucker than yourself, how is that an investment? It's not. Now, here is his mentality, and this is not me knocking. This is my brother. We from down the way. We cool. We Gucci. We down with each other like that. But we just not. People aren't in the same space when it comes down to certain development of how certain things work. So in his mind, I could tell you what he's thinking because I used to think this way. Well, I can't say I used to think that way. I understand wrong thinking. I understand it because I understand where it came from, how it developed, and how it matures in someone. And I know that's kind of crazy for me to say, but I understand how it makes sense to them. All right. He thinks because of where we from. This ain't nothing. This is where we from. He thinks that way because if shit get heavy and bad out here one day, he'll always be able to sell it and get something for it. See, in his mind, technically, he's right. It's an investment. I'm gonna spend $1,000. Shit get rough out here, and I can't pay my rent a year from now. I know I can get I can get $500, $300, or $400 for this. I know I can get that, and that'll get me closer to what I need, where I need to be to get my money back. You feel what I'm saying? Not my money back, to get where if I'm my rent due, I can get $400-$500 for this chain. You still $500 behind. That's not considered an asset. That's not considered an investment, bro. So no, a gold chain is not an investment. It's only going to recover 20 to 30% of what you spent for it. Now, I know I'm talking to some people that already know this, and I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to be that guy that's talking down on anybody. That's not what I'm saying. I think people understood what I'm talking. Y'all understand where I'm coming from, because there are people that believe certain things are an investment, and it's just not that. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about money today, because I have a couple people that I do follow. I've been following them probably for about a year now. Kim Moore Everhart said pawn shop. Pawn shop ain't going to give you they're not going to give you nowhere near. I hear my doorbell, so my gate bell. So I know that my delivery came in today. They said it's supposed to come in today. I can't wait to show you guys. I've already got my custom, well, they're not custom, but the limited editions. I'm going to show them to y'all. As I say to you, as I sit here and talk about luxury items, these are not luxury items. These are what sneakerheads do. It's an investment. If I can find a way to spend $200 on something and somebody's willing to give me $500 because I got it before them, then damn it, put me in the game, coach. Put me in the game, coach. I want to be part of that. Let me go to the phone lines real fast. I'm sorry. Let me go to the phone lines, and then I'm going to work on getting my package in here so I can talk to you guys about it. Quick thing. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with? Hello, caller. Let me see if I can. Hello, caller. The caller's on hold. Maybe they have me on hold. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with? Well, they have me on hold, I guess, because the phone number's still here. They may have had to do something. I'll put them on hold again, and I'll keep on going. I'll just take another call. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Caller had me on hold, so another call was coming in. Feel free to call back in, caller. Couple people that I've been listening to. Y'all know I listen to John Bryant. That caller might be new. Voice of Reason. Yeah, it may be. Voice of Reason on YouTube said that caller may be new. Yeah, it may be, but I didn't do anything different. All right. Let's take a phone call. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Wyatt, how you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up, sis? What's good with you? I gotta get you cut up a little bit here. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yeah, is it my phone is low?
Let me just see if it is. No, it's actually my phone. Go ahead. You're good. That was me.
Oh, we're good.
We're good.
Okay, cool. You know, I have to tell you what happened to me. I know it's off topic, right? But Wyatt, we are missing in the community. When I say we, I'm saying parents.
Yeah.
It is horrible what happened to me last week. And I will say this. I probably shouldn't have intervened, but I did because it was
not you, sis. Not you.
Yeah, I shouldn't have intervened. I shouldn't have, but I couldn't help it.
Okay.
I will say that I could not help it because it was dealing with a child, and I could recognize. I will say if it was an older child, I probably wouldn't have. I would have minded my own business.
Okay, what happened? What happened, sis?
Man, I walked inside the little strip mall, bypassing time. And I saw a little kid. He looked maybe like 10, 11 years old at the oldest. And he asked me, did I want to buy candy, little Reese cups and stuff. I was like, I'll get you when I, leave out.
Little man
And I
hustling.
got on.
Little man hustling.
Yes.
I like that.
Regardless if it's for football, whatever, he did ask me. So when I get on the escalator, I hear the sheriff says, put your hands behind your back. I mean, he's yelling, he's screaming, he's yanking the little boy. And as I said, I'll give him 11 at the oldest. Okay. And I turn around and I'm like, ooh, it was just the energy that this officer had. And I said, let me get on the escalator and go back down. And I was fighting with myself. Honestly, I was like, don't get involved. Don't. So I go down. I knew to stay at a safe distance, and not be intrusive. But I do know I can ask questions as part of the public. I said, sir, do you think you could give him another chance? He's just selling candy. And he said, I hate people like you. And I said, could you elaborate of what that is? And by that time, the security comes behind me. He was like, do you want to hit her with a trespassing charge? Do you want to hit her? You are intruding in an investigation. I said, actually, he's arrested now. You got the cuffs on him. You're no longer investigating.
They had the little boy in cuffs?
Yes, like aggressive. The little boy put the candy on the ground along with his paper. Whether it was legit or not, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I will say that.
Okay.
And then women start coming in and was like, are you arresting him? White women, I'll be very clear on that. White women, older women, was like, are you arresting him for chocolates? And he said nothing to them. Nothing. No threat of trespassing, no threat of anything. And he went and put the little boy in the back of his car and he pulled right off. So he didn't identify the young man.
He took the little boy in. Okay.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
But at that time, I didn't have my phone out, but the older women did. And I went to the car. By that time, I was pissed. And I was like, I ain't buying nothing in here. So my husband was waiting with Cruz, your nephew. And I said, can you come here for a second? Because I got some questions to ask for this young man. And the only reason why I questioned him is because he's who called the police on the little boy. And I just wanted to see what their policies were and why I was threatened with trespassing charge by asking one question. I was not volatile, I wasn't loud, I wasn't aggressive, and it bothered me that this man told me I was about to trespass. And I was like, okay. It's just the main reason why I made a post about it is because my post was to the parents. I don't care whether this is for football, basketball, baseball, whatever, or even a scam of what they're, saying young men are doing.
Okay.
My thing is this. Your son is too young to be outside by himself selling candy, because I do know hustlers too, and they will wait till he sell all that candy and then take the money. I would think more that way than that. But I did see the police.
What did you say on the end there, sis? You broke up on it. You said, say that last part again.
I said I would think somebody would rob him, for the candy money versus the police mishandling him at his age.
You say about 11?
At his age.
About 11?
Yes, at the oldest.
Yeah.
At the oldest.
Yeah.
And you could tell he was scared. He kept his head down the whole time. He kept saying, yes, sir, no, sir.
Respectful little young man.
He was very respectful.
Yeah.
And I was salty because it was like, you threatened me with a trespassing charge.
You know how I know he's respectful? That's actually me as a hustler at 11 years old. But more importantly, how I know he's respectful, because you can't be a little asshole out selling candy, approaching people. You can't do that. So you have to have a sense of manner. It take a sense of manner. It take a strong-willed, polite individual little kid to be out there hustling that type of hustle. That's a hard hustle.
You know what I wish? I wish I would have bought the whole goddamn box.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
wish
but
you get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
absolutely,
I
absolutely.
wish
I
I
do
would have
support
just,
that. I support when kids are out there hustling like that. There's a whole lot of other stuff they could be doing. But now let me play
uh,
devil's advocate, because
I know. Go
no,
ahead.
no, no.
Give it
It
to me.
sounded like you was in at first. I thought you had a problem with Popo at first. Now, but
No,
now you're
my initial issue was with the parents, right? Because this wouldn't happen if he would have had somebody to advocate for him.
well.
But their attention came to me because I advocated for the young man. You
I
get what I'm
got it.
saying?
I got it. But here's the thing, and that's the angle I wanted to take with you. God bless your heart. I know where you coming from. I've seen it a million times with kids out there selling and hustling and doing what they doing. I very seldom see kids that are acting a fool when they hustling like that. But now I have to admit, because I was guilty of it as a child myself. You know how many
Hmm.
times I was told not to come around here no more, not to do this, not to
Yep.
do that, and I
Yep.
did it anyway. And
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? So you have to take in consideration that young man was doing what he was doing, right? But he probably
Yes.
had been told several times. I doubt the police took him in custody because this was his first time.
First time.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm glad you didn't necessarily have a problem with the police officers, because you don't know how many times they've been there, and then here comes somebody like you who's seen it for the very first time, and it's like brand new. You see what I'm saying?
I
And
did have a problem with how he handled the young man because he's a child. He wasn't a teenager. He was a child. And the thing is, why would you threaten me with a charge for coming to aid a young man
well, because
that
sis,
looks like me, but
because
you're rough. You're
Be-
rough.
because sis, you were present on the 15 times they told him
No,
don't come around
true,
here. So,
true.
so the frustration is they're talking to him. You're not this kid's parent. You're from, you would have announced if you was the parent of this child, like, this is my son. So what do you have to say to him? You say to me. That's what parents should do, right?
That's what parents would
That's
do.
not your approach. Your approach is, what the hell is going on here? And that's not really just a regular citizen. I mean, as much as it's gonna sound wrong, that's not really our place, because we weren't present. Like, I'm telling you, I was told many, 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 plenty times, get your ass off this damn. Like, I had got kicked off of out of what you call them Finley Market a million times, and
Hmm.
found myself down at 2020. And there was people coming to my rescue down at Finley Market saying, hey,
Well, that's where Joe Hustle was as young men.
I get
I
it,
hear a
sis,
lot
but
of young men's stories say they
that
used to
don't make
sell
it right. What I'm
bags.
saying is, your approach to interfere with what I had going on with these people.
Right.
You came in the 11th hour. I had acted a fool on
I
their
get that.
regulations and their rules
But do that. And I get that. And I could see that point because I have been part of being an officer. So I understand that. But there still is a certain type of mannerism you should have.
yeah, and they may have had it on trip number 12. 1 through
Yeah.
12,
But
13, 14. They
you
may have handled him.
always have to, when you put that uniform on, Wyatt, you're
Man,
supposed to have that professionalism at all times.
at all times, but at a certain.
Okay. And if
And
somebody is
here's
not
the other thing.
aggressive with
But here's
you,
the other thing, sis.
and that's part of training.
But
Now,
the
they
other
give
thing.
you, now, if he was giving him that same energy, he had every right, because that's what your training is, to match that energy. Like, you cannot, if he's pulling
That's not
away and
necessarily
cussing
true.
him out and all
That
that young man was like, yes, sir. No, sir. He put his candy on the ground. He put the paper on the ground and put his hands directly behind his back. And I know my reactions don't just happen.
okay. All I'm
They don't
saying
just
is,
happen.
if I'm not present
Mhm.
for several times, something happens, and somebody's been instructed to do certain things, and they
Yes.
just go totally against the rules and regulations. At a certain
Mhm.
time, people have to start. The authority has to get more authoritarian. That's just how
Right.
it go. If you, it's like it's like with Cruz. Shit, but I
Yes.
don't know his, you only gonna tell him how to do something a few times. After he just don't do what you tell him to do, don't your anger and your temper get a little, heated? Not you don't treat him the same that you treated him on the third or the fourth time you told him to do something. I think we all like that with our kids. I was like that with my kids. Like, if I tell my daughter to go clean her room, and
Yes.
she'll tell me, all right, I'm gonna get it. I'll get it in the morning. And I trust that. And then the morning come and she didn't left. And,
Mm-hmm.
2 days go by and I say it again. And I say, hey, you need to go get your room. And then she don't do it again and tell me, I'm going to get it in a couple hours. I got this to do, blah, blah. All right, you got that. Now we working on 4 commands that I didn't told her clean the damn room. Now it's time for me to get that. Now I got to be like, bang. No, you ain't gonna step away from this. You doing that shit right now. Here go the broom.
But you ain't gonna be pushing her all around and shoving her and yelling. I
probably ain't gonna do that. I don't put hands on children.
That's what triggered me. Like this young
I
man
understand
need an advocate to let them know like that. Oh, and when I said something, his attention went on me and he stopped doing what he was doing to the young man. I will say that. So I will say I acted as a distraction to the officer to let him know I'm watching your behavior with him.
That's good. But more, I think you have a very good argument with the physicality. That shouldn't be there, especially if
guess what? This is what I found out with this security company.
This was a security guard. I'm sorry, sis. Was this a security guard or was this the police?
Police is who I had the initial issue with. It was the sheriff is who does Kenwood Mall, but the security is who calls the sheriff.
Oh, wait a minute. So, this was at Kenwood Mall in Cincinnati?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you can't sell candy.
So I was at the strip mall. I don't know if you're familiar with where Men's Warehouse is.
I am. In Kenwood.
Okay, that's where we were. Okay. And then but this is what I know. Kenwood Mall been having an issue with aggressive older teenage boys who's been pretending to be part of the football teams, and they've been aggressive with people that's coming in, but like F you then. Kind of like what the water boys, what you dealt with the water boys. Do you remember that whole situation of they was walking up to people's cars and trying to sell water? Yeah. But this was happening at Kenwood Mall, and this young man just happened to be pulled into that group, but he had no association with that group. So you're correct on what you're saying. It's been an ongoing problem, but not with him. It's been with the older aggressive teens where they pull out their money and they just snatch their wallet, and this is what I've found out by just investigating into it.
Okay.
So it was a problem.
Wasn't there just a problem up at Kenwood Mall here recently with a bunch of teenagers running through the mall acting a fool? Mm-hmm. Didn't that just happen? Okay. All right.
Yeah. So this is the first time I've been seeing like these dogs and everything else. It's just
dogs in the mall.
In the mall, wow. They have drug sniffing dogs in Kenwood Mall.
It's getting bad. You know what?
It's bad.
Yep. Don't be shocked. Don't get shocked. I know. I think there's a curfew or something in that mall already where you.
You have to be with a parent as well under the age of 18.
Yeah. So listen, that mall has been the nicest mall in Cincinnati for quite some time, and it's the long lasting. It's the only mall that's been able to survive what's going on right now with how brick and mortars are going on. They have some cool stores in there, but just like everything else, when you allow certain element to come in and do certain things, it is going to destroy what was good or what was great. Yeah. It's going to destroy it. And you know what? When they get to a point where they putting dog sniffing or sniffing dogs, when you got
German Shepherds,
when you getting that in there, and you got all these kids running through there, it's just a matter of time before that mall becomes Northgate Mall. And for you guys that want to know what's going on with Northgate Mall, they probably have a 10% occupancy right now. 10%.
It's less than that. Now. So, but Wyatt, when I go to Easton is beautiful to me.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's indoor, outdoor. Kenwood has nothing on Easton, and for them to have all this going on, I was like, oh yeah.
But you know what?
Coming back. I'm not coming back here.
Here's the thing. Easton had an issue with they had a teenage problem for a second as well.
Yes, they
There's another mall in Cincinnati. I think it's in Liberty. That mall has just recently had a little issue where a parent had to go on and talk about how her son got jumped and all that up there. Listen, this all goes into somebody said, Jack said, laugh out loud, Northgate has been demolished. I don't think that it's demolished.
No, it's not part of it.
Yeah,
but
they
not
tore
all.
some of it down because of I think the movie theater section and all of that. I used to own a couple spots in Northgate Mall, and I still know a couple people that were in the buying group, that group, that Gator group. They're from Florida here, and they bought the mall, built a nice movie theater, and I think it took them longer to build the movie theater than the movie theater was actually open. You see what I'm saying? It took them a year and a half.
That was
to
a
build.
rough mall. That was a rough, very rough mall.
the mall
but
had
Kenwood, I would think, it's definitely not a babysitting club. I just feel like parents have to be on hands if your child is out. First thing first. Like, I see Girl Scout people all the time in front of like Kroger, and of course I know they got to get it cleared. So if your son is this young, there's no way he should be in the back of a police car without your knowing. You know what I mean? Like, that was so uneasy for me, and that's why I felt like,
well, they probably took him home, sis. I don't think they took him to 2020. This is one of them things where they probably was like, look, son, we didn't ask you a million times. Now, like Ben About the Check said that I'm purely assuming, and I'm just gonna tell you that I kind of I kind of have an idea how this thing works. You're right. My thing is a pure assumption, but in most cases, they will give they'll give a kid an opportunity not to solicit candy or whatever at the mall, and they'll tell you several times before they send you to jail or before they send you to and put you in a car and send you home. That's how it happens in most cases, to be honest. This could be a case where it didn't happen.
I told you that's what they did let me know. It, not him specifically, but more of the older teens that was robbing people over at Kenwood Mall. So that's why he got affected.
So let's be mad at the element that's causing this problem, because guess what? If those older kids weren't out there acting a fool and making the young man look bad, because the young man probably wasn't doing anything wrong other than he was probably breaking a small minor misdemeanor rule of the mall.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
And that's what it was.
And it probably wasn't all that damn bad. Because
and I was about to have to call you to come get me.
Well, here go the thing, sis.
Get me out of here.
We got to start paying attention to the reason why the temperature is so high. It's not always because it's us. I mean, because it's that particular situation. It might be something that's going on around it. And
I was aware of that. It's just, don't threaten me with a charge when I've done nothing of the sort of what you're trying to threaten. And if you do that to me, you'll do it to anybody.
Well, yeah, I think so. But we gotta keep in mind, like, okay, I was watching on Facebook the other day. Somebody sent it to me. They DM'd me this fight that was going on. Something, it wasn't even a fight. It was something, because they know I don't really watch fight videos. They know not to send them to me. I don't even open them. But this was a situation up in the Fay Apartments, whatever they call it now. I don't care, but it's the Fay Apartments to me. They sent me the video, and it was this lady who had 3 kids or something like that in the car by themselves. And she was riding down the street. Okay. This is how they caught on to her. She was driving down the street initially in the car in the Fay Apartments, and the kids was hanging out of the side windows and hanging out of the sunroof. And people was thinking that was kind of weird, right? And then she pull over, go into one of her girlfriend's house or some friend of hers house, left the kids inside the car while it was running. Now, somebody is videotaping this, of course, on their cell phone. The police end up showing up. And when the police got there, for some odd reason, everybody start coming outside. When the police show up, here come everybody. Everybody want to see what's going on. The oohs and the ahs and the audience start coming out. And of course, the agents start coming out, and the people, you ain't got to be doing them all like that and blah, blah, blah. You had half of the room or half of the street saying, lock her ass up for that. Lock her, you can't leave no kids. We seen her coming down the street and the kids was hanging out of the car. And you know what the other half of the street was saying? Y'all ain't got to have that many police officers out here for that. You ain't got to have that many. You got half of the Fay Apartments, at least Cunningham Street. You got Williamsburg and Sunnyvale. You got all them standing there watching. You got probably 100 people watching, and you think that they only going to disperse 2 police officers to the scene? You got a whole group of people out here hollering and screaming about. Some are mad at her. Okay, they're mad at what they seen. These were the people that were probably, the good parents. The good parents. They like, this lady crazy. That lady, that lady crazy. You lock her ass up, and I respect that. But then you got others out there screaming and hollering at the police about why it's so many police out there. I mean, because they had like 5 or 6 police cars, and they ride too deep. So there's 10, 15, 20 cops out there. And they don't understand that now it's time with all these people out here. We're not all out here for that lady in her situation with the child. Now we got to do crowd control because we don't know what's going on. But then we get under all these assumptions because of the temperature of the city, and everybody want to be mad at everybody. We don't understand that sometimes other situations play a part in what's going on right now. You get what I'm saying? Like, they had to have crowd control. Yes,
right. I get that.
Exactly,
yeah. But that's rowdy. That's so Wyatt. These okay. I'm gonna give you my points. Like, when I asked the officer, and this was the sheriff, I asked him, "Do you think you can give him another chance for selling candy?"
Right.
And when he said, "I don't like people like you," that is not how you deal with the public.
Wrong.
Your training does not train you in that way. You're just saying what you want to say, and you're not a great representation of the Hamilton County Sheriff Department. I have many friends and clients of hair that I do that are very poised and very professional at what they do. And I knew that wasn't the correct actions. Even with trying to have the security, and when I say the security guard, is because he was trying to tempt him to charge me with a trespassing charge. Because this officer never seen me a day in his life. And when the officer, I asked him, like, why would he ask you specifically about this? He said, well, you was about to trespass. I'm like, oh, I was. So to me, they have this like cahoots things that they're doing. And yes, the little kid, I'm pretty sure was in the wrong because he was parentless. But handling a minor like that, and then handling me in a way that you are not professional, it's not okay. As I told you, I'm an investigator. I'm going to investigate this thing because I need to know why was he individualized to be handled in a rough manner where they have to pull the cameras to understand I'm not going to intervene into no police situation just to intervene. As I told you, I did it as a distraction, and he stopped the behavior. But that shouldn't have to happen. That wasn't a riot. It didn't have all this other fight and commotion. And as I stated, there was 3 other white women who stood behind me with their phones out at this time because I didn't have my phone. And he said nothing of the sort to them, and they asked him the same question. The very same question. And nothing was asked of them to leave. They're trespassing. They're interrupting an investigation. Anything like this. So I'm just saying, when you're dealing with the public, there is a way you're supposed to deal with them. You can't come in aggressive if things are not aggressive, and you can't come in, kind of trying to mediate when things are aggressive.
Well, let me say this to you.
That'll be done.
Let me say this to you, sis. You said something a little bit earlier in this conversation about the parenting. Now, we all know there's nothing.
That's a big discussion. He shouldn't have been there without a parent. He was too little. He was too little, Wyatt.
Okay, so now let's go back to that. This young man would have never got dealt with the way he was dealt with. He would have never been in the position he was in if he was being parented properly, right? In other words,
that is accurate.
Okay, so let's go back to the parent neglecting their child by not. Look, if we know that there's problems going over at Kenwood Mall, I don't want my daughters. I told my daughters before, they were over there a few Christmases ago when there was a fight up by Victoria's Secret on the 2nd floor. And there was hundreds of kids in that mall. A fight pursued in the mall, and it went through stores, connecting stores. Kids were being slung around and throwing each other around and all that. And I told my kids a long time ago, watch the shit on YouTube. Watch it on social media. Don't hang around. Matter of fact, don't even go to the mall when it's that time of the day where it's going to be a bunch of kids at the mall. It's not your time to be there. Those kids are hanging out. More likely it's going to be something hard, wrong, bad that's going to happen that day. And most of the time it does. Okay. So as a parent, my job is to keep my kids out of harm's way. So to be proactive, I know that my kids shouldn't be at the mall at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night on a Friday night. Because unless they going over there to get something specifically to go in and go out, that's one thing. But to be there watching people fight, they're going to be treated just like the people that are fighting. Sometimes the spectators are treated like the guilty party. They look like the guilty party. They around the guilty party. They laughing and shugging around like the guilty party. And they sometimes will be treated like the guilty party. So I'm not a fan of people that complain about shit when they put themselves in harm's way. When they put themselves in a position. It's like me hanging out on the corner. Say I go downtown, Laura Holmes or something like this gone. But say, for instance, I go home, I get home, I visit downtown. You think I'm about to hang out on the block where I know they selling dope? So when the cars run up, how can I get mad when they pull me in the police car because I'm on a hot ass corner? I ain't selling no dope. I can say all that all I want to, but why put myself in a position where I'm standing on a corner saying what's up to some of my old sandboxes and my buddies and shit, and they do a rundown and they sweep the street and they sweep my ass right there into it? Why would I be mad at the police for doing that shit? Because I put myself in that position. Accountability, self-accountability. That parent, knowing that there's issues going on at Kenwood Mall, and if you don't know your kid is in Kenwood Mall doing that, that's even more of a problem. So let's always go to the root.
I agree.
Okay.
That ultimately, at the end of the day, that is the issue. This baby shouldn't have been, like I said, I will give him 11. I don't know his age. I will max 11. But at the end of the day, I understand people feel like, stay off the police business. But one thing the public don't know, that if you are there while the police is getting attacked, and I mean like hand-in-hand combat, where they're getting pinned, you as the public, they expect you to help them. They expect you, and you'll see like videos and stuff. But but I'm telling you, it's part of the training that you're supposed to scream, for help and get back, stay back. I'm an officer to get the public to come around so they could see what's going on with you. This is part of their training. So you can't have it both ways. You can't ask the public to help you with the situation and then say, oh, you're in my business. So which way is it?
Well,
which way is
it? Know if
so that's what my frustration is with this too. Like, dude, I know you expect the public to help you, but when you say I don't like people like you need to watch your mouth.
Right, I agree.
You need to watch your mouth. That was rude. It was obnoxious behavior, and you didn't have to be slamming that little boy everywhere. This is chocolate candy.
Well, I look at it like this. If you're gonna be mad at the police for doing somebody like that, then you got to be mad at the little boy mama. Got to be mad at the little boy.
His father, his mother, whomever. Because I feel like if he wanted to steal or whatever, he would have been in one of the stores stealing and leaving.
Right.
He's posted up with his little candy, and it is, to me, he shouldn't have been by himself. And that was my post. Like, I didn't want people to focus. Like, I can handle myself. Believe me, I can. It was just a point of like, why is he by himself with money and trying to get it from the public without an advocate, a parent there, like somebody, an adult present.
And probably, to be honest with you, sis, and I got to end this call because I got people calling in. To be honest with you, and I'll let you get the last word, but to be honest with you, if the little boy gonna get robbed, he more likely gonna get robbed by one of them little kids that's been ripping and running through the mall acting a damn fool. The same element that they trying to keep out of there was probably gonna be the element that hurt the kid. So I think the police yanking him is probably a little bit softer than what them other little dudes would have did to him if they would have went and got his pocket. You feel me? I already know how that goes.
It still wasn't acceptable behavior.
Okay.
We can do that. It's just that just wasn't okay for me.
I've been pushed around by the police
before.
That was
horrible.
I've been pushed around by the police before for doing some shit out here on the block and
because
this and that.
You know what they do that to provoke you. You get what I'm saying? To provoke another behavior. Just like when he threatened me with a charge, he wanted me to get out of control. No, but I don't let people control me like that.
He wanted you to get out of the way. He didn't necessarily want you to get out of control. Maybe he did. I don't know.
Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. Because he said nothing to the white women that asked the very same question, Wyatt.
Okay.
So it's cool. I just wanted to get your opinion off of it and see we match on everything.
Not on
you
everything.
know,
Not on everything.
except for I was about to say except for except for, but it's cool. It's just like I can't watch a child be mishandled, whether it's by their parents, somebody else, or even if it's a police professional.
Well, I
There
gotta get
is
the
a
last
way
word.
you're supposed to
I
handle
gotta
them.
I gotta get the last word on this one, sis. I
Okay, go ahead.
really
Go
gotta go,
ahead.
but I want you to hear this so you can call me back on another call, right? I want you to know
Okay.
that I see a whole lot more parents doing their kids wrong than I see the police doing kids wrong out here. All right. I gotta
I
go,
hear
sis.
you.
I gotta go.
Okay.
All right.
Have a great day.
You too, sis. Let's go straight to another phone call. They've been calling. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, this is CK, man. That was great. That was great. I like. What was her name? What was her name?
That was Alethea, CK. What's good with you today, brother?
Man, that was good. You hear me? Like you said. So you telling me that's what I'm saying. This is specific instructions you giving the community. Don't go out there trying to talk to the youth. Because like you said, here come a police sweep. Now your ass sweeped up with them. You with them. They going to say you was selling drugs with them, but I was trying to mentor them. That's great advice you giving to black people. You see what I'm saying? Because you know how they, remember on Lincoln Ware, I was, do you go out there and talk to them? Do you go out there and talk to them? Do you go out there? No. Because Wyatt say if you go out there, they do a drug sweep, you going to get sweeped up right around with their ass and put in that dustpan. Ain't that right?
Okay, I hear you. I think that's two different things, though. I think when you're going out as a mentor and you're going out on the block trying to pull kids in, I think you kind of
That's what I do.
Okay, but I don't have a problem with that. I'm happy you do that. What I'm saying to you is
not no more. Not at the end what you just said today. Hell no, I'm not about to get swept up. And listen, I just got my stuff together. I don't need to be criminal elements.
No,
I'm not trying to be locked
what
up
I'm
in a
saying
sweep.
to you, CK, is I think that it's kind of obvious when you're out there trying to pull kids into a better life and you're mentoring them, or you're out there kind of with the Dare shirt on and you out there trying to bring kids into your program.
No, I got that on.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, I think that's different than somebody like if I just show up in Cincinnati and my block, the dudes I grew up with, or people that I know is on the block and I'm out there, congregating with them and we just hopping it and, I'm drinking a Pepsi and they drinking beer and shit. And they might be slicing off a little bit of that cake out there selling, doing what they do. And I'm out here playing with them. If I get drug in a sweep, I can't be mad at nobody but myself. See what I'm saying? I shouldn't be in that. I shouldn't be around that. I shouldn't be. If I go visit one of my partners in Cincinnati and I know he sell dope, I have no business going to his house. I have no business going.
Yeah, we can't associate. Remember, we don't even associate with those type of people anymore. That's long ago, unless it's like, you know what I'm saying? If they hiring you for legal representation. But like you say, just as a friend, no.
I'm not going to lie to you right here I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, bro. I have friends that have done and still do illegal activity. That may not be
my God.
They may not be friends. These might be people that I know that I have love for. What they choose to do. I hate to say it, man. It's just how I grew up. I've never left anybody behind. I will leave them where they are. I'll leave them where they are. And if I see somebody, look, I'm not going to visit my dude that got a trap house and I'm going down to see how he doing and we gonna play video games and shit. I'm not doing that. But if I see somebody while I'm downtown Cincinnati and we in passing and we talking, I'm not gonna go past him like I didn't see him and act like I don't know him. I'm not cut like that. We can sit back and chill and I'll catch him when he need my services. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely going to continue to have conversations and relationships with the people that I grew up with. Most of us don't have enough in common that we have anything to talk about anyway. So we just dapping it up and keeping it moving. That's what I do. But I'm not gonna act like because I know what they do that I don't know them. I'm not gonna do that. I mean, that's just me.
Now me and you, we share the same trait as far as the loyalty. Whatever I started it, I don't never turn my back until they you know what I mean? Until they personally do. I don't even look at what you do. As long as you don't disrespect me personally, I don't care what you do. I'm not in your business. But like I said, anybody that's in my life, I'm never gonna turn my back on you. You know what I mean? And it's just like food. I'm not gonna stop eating pork because they saying it's unhealthy. I was raised off of pork, right?
But that don't
So I'm gonna
mean
be loyal to swine for the rest of my life.
right. And that's one of them things where we was lied to. Like you eating something because it's been in your life forever. So in your mind, it's right. It's always gonna be right. And no matter what information come to you, you're gonna do what you want to do, which is nothing wrong with that.
No. Remember, you could eat anything, but only in what's the word? You can eat it and you can't don't gluttony. You can eat pork, you just can't, don't go hard on it. But like you said, it's too much. So I'm doing the research, I'm educated, so I know better, but I'm not gonna give up on something that gave my people hundreds of years. I got people, cousin Bessie made it to 115.
Okay.
Swine.
Well, listen,
he died in like late 90s.
Listen, don't burn the clutch on me, CK, because I eat pork. Okay, I wasn't suggesting
Me
that you
too.
shouldn't. I wasn't saying that you shouldn't. I'm saying,
but you don't eat chitlins though.
No, hell no. I haven't had chitlins.
See, you have a limit. You have a limit.
Well,
from the rooter to the tutor. Have you ever heard that statement, sir? From the rooter to the tutor.
But brother, chitlins is the extreme. Okay, that's the extreme pork. That's like shit. You can't even put that in the same. That's not even like, you can't say chitlins is pork. Chitlin is like a genre of its own. You know what I'm saying? Chitlins is, now I have
you
had
said it ain't even pork. You said that's beyond pork.
Yeah,
that's beyond pork.
Yeah, they got their own genre. They own. Chitlin is in a lane of its own. I put it in the same lane as eating shit like cow tongue and pig and pigtails and pig ears and shit like that. I don't get it. I don't know. But as a kid, I did have chitlins. I used to put hot sauce on chitlins. I was a little boy.
Yes.
I was a child.
Did you like it?
I probably did. I don't remember what they taste like. It's been that long ago.
Oh, but I'm glad.
But
man,
hell, bro, I was in Chicago. Let me say this one thing to you. I was in Chicago. I went to Ramsey. I ate beef and I ate chicken and I ate everything every night, every day. I had burgers with bacon on it and all type of shit. I ate everything.
Yeah, that's good. But I want to just let me leave you with this. I got hit with I know you got hit with this. When one of your partners call you up, you ain't heard from for a minute, and y'all get in deep combo because you in boxing. So I knew you get a long combo. So look, at the end of the combo, we've been on the phone about an hour and a half. I just called to see, man, I'm at the gas station to see, man, you got like $25 I could borrow. Have you ever been hit with that one? Like the combo to get the box to get some money?
Have I ever been asked for some money from friends or from somebody?
Yeah, I'm talking about that, but that's the hustle where you thinking they call and see how you doing, but the whole thing was we talked for an hour and a half before you asked me for the money, but that had to be the intent from the beginning, right?
It all depends. It all depends. I think that I don't think anybody would talk to you for an hour and a half, CK, without good intentions. I don't think it take that long to ask somebody for $25. I think you did have something to something relevant that was cool and y'all talked for a long time. There had to be some history there.
Yeah, just catching up a little bit. We ain't talked in a few months, so you thinking like, he checking in on all my parts, but then you come find, he wasn't checking on, he needed a little break. But you know how I did it.
That's a little cynical, CK. I think somebody who would
you said, okay, I got you. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I think if somebody called me that I haven't talked to in a while and I talked to him for an hour and a half, we had love for one another. We had some love somewhere down the line and we were catching up. He might need that $25, but I don't think he's going to invest an hour and a half of his time to ask me for $25. Now, I've had people ask me that 3 minutes in a conversation. Those are the ones that I feel like aren't genuine. See what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Somebody that talked to me for
you say, okay. Because I say, shit, you earned it. I ain't got 25, but I got 10 for you. But you said give them the money without wanting it back. Because if somebody need $10, they don't need.
I don't loan money.
Yeah,
you
said don't expect that shit back.
I don't loan money to people, bro. And that don't mean that I don't give money to people. I have family, people, man, I just don't loan money. I just tell people like, look, what is it that you need? Okay. And let's just use your $25. And they say, I need $25 till Friday when I get paid. And I'll say, all right, well, you know what? Here's the 25. Give it back to me when you can. I never expect it back. I don't expect it back.
Yeah. But I gave him 10. I ain't got 25. I ain't on that level.
Well,
I gave him 10.
You know what? I think that I have enough people around me that respect me enough to ask me for what they know.
Dad, this is my mama. Let me hit you back, man. Have a good one, man.
All right, bro. Tell her I said hello.
All right.
I tell mom and them I said what up, though. That was CK. Damn, mama saved the day. Knew I liked that lady. CK was gonna get real crazy here in a minute. I got an email, not an email, but a text message, and then it was in the Wyatt Live Messenger group that Richie's opened back up. Downtown Cincinnati, down on Lynn, right there where the library used to be. Library not there anymore, is it? The library still there? Right on Lynn Street. Used to be Church's Chicken when I was a kid. Talk about some greasy ass good chicken. Church's Chicken was the bomb. Now, of course, we've had this conversation before. My favorite chicken in the world back in the day was probably Kentucky Fried Chicken Original. Nobody ever could touch Kentucky Fried Chicken. There was only one chicken group that could mess with Kentucky Fried Chicken Original. Y'all don't know them, though. Brenda said they still there. The library's still there. That's good. Golden Skillet, damn it. There's only one chicken on this planet, chicken spot on this planet, who was probably better than Kentucky Fried Chicken. Damn it, I never thought I would say that. I never thought that I would say that. Golden Skillet was probably the best. Now, here's the thing. Donna, you probably remember Golden Skillet. You remember Golden Skillet because, you know, when we went to the club, Boys and Girls Club, that's where we ate. We had these conversations a million times. How long has it been? 25 years, maybe? They've been gone for 20, 25 years? About 20 years. Let's just use that. I had an opportunity. The older, I don't know if they were Korean or Vietnamese. I don't know, but they were Asian. They owned that Golden Skillet, and they tried to sell it to me. They ain't try to sell it to me, but they offered to sell it to me. And I just didn't pull the trigger. And the reason why I didn't pull the trigger is because I had a problem. Golden Skillet, I could not get in a hold of their headquarters. You know, because when you're a franchise, you have to buy their cups, their plates, their bags, you know, everything, all the accessories from that store. So I had a price for the Golden Skillet. It was for the franchise, but it wasn't for the building. The owners of the franchise did not own that little building that's right there by Findlay Market. They didn't own the building, but they were wanting to sell me the franchise for $75,000. I should have done it, but that was 25 years ago. I just didn't do it. And the reason why is because young in my age that I was in business, I was not able to get a hold of the franchise, like the Golden Skillet franchise. I couldn't get a hold of them. And the Golden Skillet store in Cincinnati downtown was using styrofoam cups. They were using their own cups. It just looked shady to me. They were still using the chicken and the grease or whatever was needed, but they weren't using the bags. They weren't using the utensils. Nothing was Golden Skillet. They even still had the old ass, the one little black kid with the Golden Skillet chicken sandwich with that hot ass sweater with the stripes on it. It had been sitting up there since I was 10. I was 30 years old, 32, 33 years old, and that poster had been up for 20 years, 25 years or something like that. That same little black kid biting into that chicken sandwich at Golden Skillet. It had a little rip on the side. It was faded a little bit. And it was shaped. I loved Golden Skillet so much. I considered it. Like, I really would love to have it. I had my brother Sean Coleman with me one day. We went in there and I'm like, bro, you know, we used to run in here when we was kids, bro. Look at this. The shit is still the same. It still got the same posters and everything. And they said they were retiring. And they wanted $75,000 for the franchise. And I was high up on it. I was like, I'm going to find a way. I'm going to find a way to get this cash. I'm going to find a way to get this money. I've been a Golden Skillet customer my entire life. I can turn this around. I was thinking Findlay Market is right here. I can turn this around. It's got the best chicken in the city. I can turn this around. But I couldn't get a hold of the corporate office. I couldn't get a hold of them, and it just started becoming a little shady. And then the Asian man used to call me. You ready, my friend? You ready? You ready? You buy? I'm like, man, I ain't buying no perm kit, motherfucker. This is like a franchise. I don't want this pressure. You pressuring me. You buy, hurry up and buy, hurry up and buy. Like, no, I got work to do. I need to figure this thing out. So I was young and I had my godfather's lawyer, which is Dan Whiteley at that time, who is now well, he's done, but his son is now, he handles the legal stuff in my company. But he said, hey, Wyatt, I can't find their court. I got a hold of I know where the corporate office is, but nobody's there. I can't get a hold of them. Nobody, okay. Sorry, I was checking a text message from my daughter. They couldn't get a hold of corporate. So I wasn't sure if it was a legitimate buy. I didn't want to just buy something that didn't really exist. They didn't even have golden skillet cups and plates and stuff. So I didn't want to just give them 75 G's, so they can retire off it somewhere in some sunny island somewhere. I don't know. But I was going to do it. I was going to pull the trigger, but it was like, I'm not quite sure if this is good. Yeah. Denise Davis says, glad Richie's on Lynn is back. Yeah, I hear they're giving away free food. And that's good. That's good. I ain't gonna front. I hope it's black owned. I hope it's black owned. I'm just saying, I hope it's black owned. I have no problem supporting Richie's. If it's black owned, white owned, Asian owned, I don't have a problem supporting it. It's not something that I've ever been a fan of. Maybe I should try it. You know what I'm saying? I just had a problem with the element. I've never been at a Richie's, whether it was in Avondale or the one downtown when it was open, and I ain't never felt like it was like some shit can jump off. So maybe this particular Richie's will be a whole different environment, and people can go and you can take your family in and have a seat at a nice, clean table and have dinner with Richie's. I don't know. I just said, but I ain't about to go through the drive-through and shit and have somebody knocking on my door or my window. Hey, bro, you got a little change? I ain't about to, nah. I'll never know what the chicken tastes like if it's that type of situation. You feel me? It ain't gonna never see me. But when I'm in the city, I am definitely going to shoot by there, see how we looking. If we looking right, if we doing right, I'll be right there. I'll support them. I love that 3-piece and a biscuit. I'll get me one of those for sure. But it's got to be right. It's got to be right. Hey, let's move on to some other stuff real fast. I got two people that I really respect in the game of money. I don't know if y'all know, I recently in the last year, now I've been on here for 6 years. For the last year, I've been following my brother, John Bryant, one of the richest black men in the country. He's in the Forbes magazine this year, which is good. And, yeah, Elita says selling DVDs and incense. I don't want the Africans sitting in the front of the door selling up on DVDs, CDs, and incense and smell good. I don't want all that. I ain't going. But that all being said, I don't want to tarnish it. It's probably gonna be square. I thought I seen a brother and a sister that invested their money into the Richies, and I'm sure it's gonna be good. I'll tell you what I'll do next time I'm in the city, I have to drive past Richies in order to get downtown to the Justice Center, to the courthouse. I'll stop by and see what we looking like. And I know a lot of y'all see it on live right now. Today is not the day for me to get my judgment. If I gotta go off of what I seen today, I ain't gonna be there. I seen a lot of people standing outside like this. But I know. No. You keep that shit right there. You know what I mean? Stephen Speed said capitalism for all. Now, not all capitalism is good, brother. Not all capitalism is good. Not all capitalism. I mean, I believe in making money, but I believe that sometimes some people who make money hurt they hurt you. Just because, people put a lot of money into their businesses. Now, y'all know I support black-owned businesses, especially restaurants. And when people come in and want to mess it up and destroy it from one bad experience, I can't support that. I can't support that. But so let me go back to my man John Bryant. Let me tell y'all what he's a black millionaire. He was born in Los Angeles. All right, a lot of y'all probably know this already. I've put some of you guys on to him because y'all do know that I send DMs to people. Not everybody gets the same type of DM from me. There's people that I know are into the money game on here, like on our channel, that like to be inspired. I know my crowd. I know my crowd. I know people who want to be inspired, and I know people who want to see messy shit. I know people who really don't get anything out of this, and I know people who just here just to be seen and heard and felt by whoever listening to them. I know the difference between everybody, most people. But a lot of you who I send to John Bryant, you should be honored. I'm honored that you get it, and that you should be honored because I consider you to be one of those people that, absorb the information and really can put it to use for you and your family. You feel me? And then there's another person that I like is Byron Allen. Byron Allen is one of the richest black men in the country, in the United States of America. And, I do listen to a lot of the things that he says. I don't know if y'all really know this, but y'all know the network Stars. You know Stars that like 50 Cent put a lot of his product on. He puts a lot of his a lot of his content on Stars. I guess that's Power Book, Power Universe, and all that. I think 50 is the one who brought Stars to life. Stars had been out there and nobody really dealt with Stars. Nobody downloaded or bought the app or whatever it is. Nobody streamed Stars until he got like what's the other one? He has the Power Group, Power Universe, and then he brought in the BMF and all that type of stuff. It exploded Stars. Well, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Byron Allen, who started in media with the Weather Channel and a few other little things, who's a multi-millionaire. I think he's probably a billionaire by now. He purchased a large portion of the Stars network, like 11%. And from a ownership spot, 11%, that means he probably bought, I have a clip. He probably bought 11% in stock, which could put him in a position to be able to call some shots. Okay. And I'm going to play a clip. I want y'all to see Byron Allen talking about him buying Stars. Now, this is where I want all my people who love to talk about money. This is going to be somewhat of a small little class. What he talks about is going to teach us a lot about how things go. And then, of course, I'm going to have to add my little bit to it to see if my people who I send information to can pick up on where we need to be in the position of what Byron Allen did. In other words, how can we, you and I, capitalize off what Byron Allen did by purchasing Stars? Let me get the clip and see if I can, let me see if I can put this up. It's fairly long, but I think you'll love I think it's probably 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes probably 3 minutes or so, but I think you'll love every minute of these 3 minutes. Listen to Byron Allen. This came out today. So soon as I seen this, well, I don't want to spoil it, but I want my people on here to watch this and you tell me what you think you and I should do to benefit off what Byron Allen did by purchasing this portion of Stars. Check it out.
You've had some very, very impressive announcements lately. Like you're buying everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is
Stars. You bought BuzzFeed. Or 10% of Stars.
Yeah. We bought just under 11%, 10.7%. I like Stars. Stars says that they're going after the underserved. That's code for black. Don't tell anybody. Right. So if you're gonna go after us, maybe we should own it. All right. So if you're chasing us, we should own it.
Right.
So Steve Mnuchin used to be my banker before he got into politics. He was the Treasury Secretary. And I saw that he owned 11%, just under 11%. And I called him up and I said, hey, do you want to own this stake in Stars? It's publicly traded. And he said, because I said, are you willing to sell it? He said, not at these prices. And I said, well, I didn't give you a price. I just asked you a question. Are you willing to sell it? He said, let me think about it. He called me back. He said, I'll sell it for $25 million. I said, no problem. Let's do it. We'll close tomorrow. So I bought it. And it was a key move because it's hard to buy close to 11% of a company without driving up the price because you're buying so many shares. So I was able to get it done quietly and under the radar. It was a really good move for us because we ended up being the second largest stockholder instantly. And now we have a seat at the table. And so I've made it very clear I plan to buy the whole company. I want to control that company. My first preference would be to keep it public and to take 52% of it and just control it. But they immediately adapted a poison pill and they said, hold up.
I saw that.
We do not want you to own this company or control this company. So they took a poison pill to stop me. And I said, that's okay. That won't stop me. You'll just delay us, but we will eventually get what we want. My preference is for it to stay public and for me to control it 51% or greater. But if I have to, I'll buy the whole company, fire everybody, fire the board, not the people working there, get rid of the board for resisting me, and then take it back public.
Have you reached out to somebody like 50 Cent? 'Cause I mean, to me, 50 Cent is the person who put Stars on the map.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have not.
Okay.
I didn't want to put him in a bad place and, have him to, figure out what side, just let him stay neutral, which I think is a smart place to stay. Let us duke it out in terms of who's going to own it, who's going to control it. But I'm highly confident eventually I will control Stars.
You just bought BuzzFeed as well.
Yeah, I bought BuzzFeed and HuffPost and Tasty. I felt it was very important.
You bought all of those?
Yeah, I bought them all.
It's going to all go into one, right?
No, they're already there. They're up and running. So
Okay.
yeah, I bought them all. So, listen, I think it's important as Black people that we are in the publicly traded markets. Publicly traded companies, that's where you can create great wealth, enormous wealth. You're talking about $100 trillion out there in the publicly traded markets. So BuzzFeed is publicly traded, and they got into some financial trouble, and they announced that they were about to go bankrupt. And I just said, okay. I called them up quickly. I said, here's the deal I would like to do. And I said, I want to control 52% of the company. I want to control the board. And I said, here's $120 million. And here's how I want to structure it. I'll give you $20 million now, cash, and a promissory note of $100 million at 5% interest, due and payable in 5 years. And I'm buying 40 million shares. I bought 40 million shares at $3 a share. That's the 120 million. Now, when I went to buy the 40 million shares, the stock was only trading at like 60 to 70 cents a share. So when it got announced, it jumped up to like $1.30 or whatever, $1.40 or whatever it is. So me putting 120 million on the table and saying, I believe in my ability and I believe in myself and my management team. I believe in the brands BuzzFeed and HuffPost and Tasty. I believe that we will get this $3. We'll get past this $3 a share well within the 5-year period. But I'm investing in these brands. And I see the opportunity is to use AI to enable us to do more streaming, not AI generated content, but I also invested about 150 million to do something called Local Now, which uses artificial intelligence and proprietary software to curate, stream, and and aggregate super hyper local news, weather, sports, and traffic geofence to the user's zip code. And I couldn't be happier because we, as Black folks, we have to have a seat at the table as it relates to technology, content, and the intersection of technology and content and artificial intelligence.
Okay. Now, class, it's time to have that type of conversation that a lot of people who watch this show like for me to have. Like, they like me to talk about money sometimes, and here we are. We're going to do it. Now, any man, any woman, any person who's willing to invest $120 million into themselves, I know I need to be riding with them. Not cut a check for $120 million. Cut a check for $20 million cash and say, I will have this paid off in 5 years. That's $20 million a year. 5% rate. Why would I sit back on that information and be talking about anything other than how I can benefit off what this man is talking about? I don't care who he married. I don't care what days of the week he don't go to church and where. I don't care nothing about none of that. That's broke people talking. That's broke people thinking. That's people thinking about some shit that ain't got nothing on their mind but nonsense. The man just told you, he just gave you a gem. He just gave you everything you needed to invest in something from the ground floor level, and you're going to sit back here and ignore it? Didn't he just tell you when he was looking at it, it was 60 cents a share? Soon as he jumped in, it went to what, $1.30 a share? I was on this interview, listening to this interview, 30 minutes after I heard that segment of the interview, I bought 1,000 shares of Star stock. 1,000. Because he's saying to himself, in 5 years, I can make this $3.60 a share. $3.60 a share. He'll probably do better than that. Do y'all remember when I put a post up some time ago? It was probably a month or two ago. Y'all know I think I remember things. I'm frames ahead of my conversations are frames ahead of things. And I said, we have to learn how to own the algorithm. We have to learn how to control. We have to have our own Facebook. We have to learn how to have it's on my Facebook page. It's on my social media page. And then you got a brother that's sitting here telling y'all right now, I have put 20 million of my money up front cash with another 100 million behind it. And you think I'm going to sit back? And you got to understand the people that he's affiliated with, let's just say the 50 Cents, the Curtis Jacksons. These are guys on a lower level who have invested into studios. If it wasn't for 50 Cent, Stars wouldn't even be where they are today. 50 went and invested in a whole damn studio in Louisiana to do exactly what Tyler Perry did. Tyler Perry had 50 Cent come out to the house. They had a talk, blah, blah, blah. 50 said, man, this guy is decades ahead of what we all been trying to do in the game. He's talking about Tyler Perry. I don't care for Tyler Perry content, but I love Tyler Perry, the businessman. I love Tyler Perry, the businessman. He is a gangster when it comes to business. Okay, love him or hate him or what, don't have a feel about him or whatever. Tyler Perry he has done something legendary. He has a studio in Atlanta larger than the studio in California itself. You know, the Warner Brothers and all that. Tyler Perry studio twice his size. It's the largest compound. It's the largest studio in the United States. 50 Cent bought all that land, building a studio just like Tyler Perry's in Louisiana. You trying to tell me you don't see 50 Cent doing some business with Byron Allen, putting out product, putting out content material? You don't see that happening? You don't see those brothers becoming solid rock? I do. You're not going to come in my face, Mr. Byron Allen, the man I respect. You're not going to tell me you just invested $120 million into something, and I'm not going to pay attention to where you're going with it. And I'm not going to say to myself, if he can invest 120 million of his money, of his dollar, and he has a vision, and I know the players around him that I can't invest 1,000 of my own money. And that's a small portion. I'm probably going to do 5 times that amount because as soon as I see the needle moving, I'm going to reinvest. Byron Allen just put the whole game out there for us to see. And nobody's cheering him on. He ain't going to have no statues. He's not going to have, nobody's going to praise him for the move that he just made to show you how to take over a company that a lot of the people that teach y'all shit and put shit in your head and tell you, we can't do that. We ain't they ain't gonna let you do that. And then I heard people in the comments, I read in the comments on the Breakfast Club when he said shit like poison pill. They put a poison pill. They put a poison pill. You know, as soon as you use certain words and certain arrangements of words, and you say they put a poison pill. Yeah, here come the normal motherfuckers. Here they come. I know they ain't gonna let that black man do that. They ain't gonna let that black man take that company. No, what they're doing is putting a poison pill in so he won't take over somebody else's company. I would put a poison pill in somebody that's trying to buy my company from up under me. That's normal. You have to do that to position yourself. But trick no good. It's too late. He bought 11% of the company and he explained to you how it's done. And y'all would rather, a lot of people would rather listen to the dumbest shit in the world and make it way more complicated. It's already complicated, but you take the easy route in how to figure this shit out. Them white folks ain't gonna let that in, buy that company. They ain't gonna let him do that. He done did it. He showed you how you can do it without permission. He just showed you I bought enough, which is going to give me 40 million shares. I am going to take this company over and I am going to fire the board. And then I'm going to make the moves and do the things that I want to do, which means I am going to bring people in like Curtis Jackson. I'm going to bring in creators. I'm going to bring in people. And look, he said something that was triggering to me. I don't like when people say things like, well, Stars is going after the what do they call it? Not underachieved, underprivileged or some shit. What was the terminology? I don't like when people say shit like that, especially when we say it. Because you're not going in to service anybody but us. You're going in there to make it another BET, but in the streaming area of BET. I love it. But you don't need to go that route and try to position it as if I don't like that type of talk, man. Keep being strategic in your business plan. Keep doing it the way you're doing it, Byron Allen. Underserved. Thank you, Lindo Matthews. Underserved. Thank you, Jack. Fuck all that, man. Okay. In other words, he's buying it because Stars is saying they going after the underserved. So that means in his eyes, it's keyword, they trying to go after the black folks. So I might as well take this. If I take it, then I can do what I want to do with it. Makes sense to me. We're not champion Byron Allen. We're not champion. We'd rather say, oh, he married to a white woman. So what? Everybody y'all vote for and all y'all leaders over there, they married to white people and you don't say shit about that. And we had this conversation on Wyatt Live a long time ago. Every time a black man with a white woman or some other type of woman, he a sellout. But when black women get a white boy, it's a come up. The fuck? Y'all ain't say nothing about, what's his name? Lucas, the dude that owns Star Wars. He married to a black woman. Y'all ain't say nothing like, oh, his wife a sellout. No, it was a come up. She married a billionaire. Eve, the rapper, marries a white man. He a billionaire. That's a come up. White man, a black man marries or gets with a white woman and he a sellout. We done had this conversation a million times. A million times. Be with who make you happy. Be with who understands you. Be with whoever's helping you be the best you that you can be in life. I don't give a damn if she purple. I don't care if he's maroon. Be with whoever makes you the best person that you are. Now, I heard gems in what this man said, and I'm telling, okay, I put my money where my mouth is. I bought 1,000 shares. That's not a lot. That's not a lot. The man owns 40 million shares. That was just the introductory. This stock will probably split in the next, soon as they go in motion of trying to take over the company, it probably will go down. The stock will probably go down because it's a corporate takeover. It'll probably go down. But as soon as they get full control, then it'll probably start surging back up. It'll split. And you'll be making money in your sleep. But instead, some of you worried about all the wrong shit and gonna be a consumer. You're not gonna get a rebate off of the product that they put out. Do you understand? Let me explain what I mean by that. Some of you been here long enough to understand what I mean. I generally invest in everything that I do. I invest in Meta. My investment in Meta, which is Facebook, has doubled. The money that I have invested in Facebook has doubled. Anybody into that? The Meta stock? Do you know it's doing well? I'm on a platform on it every day. Why shouldn't I own stock in what I do and spend my time on? I might not make money on Wyatt Live, damn it, but I make money off my Meta. Okay, now, the other thing, my cell phone, Verizon. I was with Sprint forever. I didn't sell my Sprint stock. I kept it, but if I'm gonna be with you for 15 years, damn it, I want a rebate. So if I can invest in all the things, I buy Nike, I'm investing in Nike. Everything that you see me wear, if I anything that's on the open market, if it's something that I consume, whether it's groceries, I have Kroger stock. Damn it, why not have Duke stock? I pay Duke bills. You understand what I'm saying? That's just how I move. So I get whenever you get any type of dividend check, I consider that to be a rebate check. I send Verizon a monthly check for $300 for all of our phone lines, and I get a dividend check from them. That's considered a rebate. I drink Coca-Cola. I used to. Y'all know that. You drink Coca-Cola, why not have Coca-Cola stock? You see what I'm saying? You watch Stars. So why not invest in the man who's buying Stars, trying to take it over, and he's willing to put $120 million of his own money into the project? Why wouldn't you buy? I don't give a damn if you buy 5 pieces of the stock. Why wouldn't you do that? Darnell Hunter says, I work at Amazon. I have bought Amazon stock weekly. Of course. I'm not going to put my business all the way out there like that, but I got Amazon stock too because my wife got 1 million freaking boxes in the garage and we put them out on the damn curb every week for the truck man to come. We don't even go shopping. Shopping come to us. Why wouldn't I? If Jeff Bezos is putting $1 billion of his own money and willing to lose $1 billion a quarter to start a business, why wouldn't I see his vision? How can I not attach myself to that? And for all my people who always talking that brother, and broke people shit and all that old we broke and all that old goofy ass shit, I got another clip for you. Let me ask you guys something. I know it's an easy one. How many of you know what city, I won't say state, what city in America do you think the most black millionaires live in? Put it in the screen. I'll repeat the question. What city in the United States of America do you think has the most black millionaires? What city in America? Because I know a lot of y'all think we got a few. We only got a few, you know what I'm saying? We only got a few. Jack said Detroit. I'm not going to say yes or no to anybody. I'm not going to say yes or no. I'm going to just let it go in the screen because I love the engagement. I love everybody getting in with us. I'm not going to say yes or no. Brenda Burt said Atlanta. Brenda Early said, I retired from Avon after 10 years, got their stock. Of course, Avon been around since I was a little boy. I don't even know. I think I was born in Avon was doing a thing. And it's only smart to buy the stock if you work there and if you're a customer. That's a double. I got to have their stock. I haven't seen a wrong answer yet. I'll give you that hint. I guess there's going to be a correct answer, but every city that I see people talking about right now will be mentioned in this clip. And you know, a lot of people always talk that shit of under what was the term? I don't even know these words. That's how removed I am from thinking like that. Somebody put it in the screen again. What is it? Under what? Under shit. I don't even know these words because my mind don't think that way. Underserved. My mind don't think like that. So I have to be reminded of words like this. Yeah, call me what you want. I guess I was one of them guys. Undeserved. Hey Vernon, I guess I was one of them dudes one day. Or I don't know, underserved. I guess I was one of them guys. But my mama didn't teach me to be that way. She didn't teach me. She taught me how not to be that way. So I hey, blame my mama. Okay, don't blame me. But I don't even know them words. I don't even think like that. None of y'all are wrong, Jenny. None. Every brother and sister in here that's put a city up. None of y'all have wrong. I haven't seen a city up yet that's not mentioned in this clip that I'm about to play you. Oh, this is my favorite portion of the Wyatt Live. This is the Wyatt Live that we started from the beginning, guys. And I want to thank everybody that's here because you're going to get more of this from me. I'm gonna leave them other people to talk about that dusty shit about my people. About how we need the government, how we need this, and how the political parties is doing this, and how we can't vote, and all that old goofy shit. I'm gonna let them have all that. I'm gonna let them I'm gonna give them a wheel and let them steer y'all wherever the fuck they gonna steer you. But I ain't gonna be that guy. Please leave the political talk off my platform. I'll entertain it when necessary. But if you think I'm gonna sit here and condone or talk about black people losing their voting power, and there's too many black people in this country that's getting to the bag and starting their own legacy, and they got children in high places and they open doors, and you got Byron Ireland who could have bought an NFL team. He just didn't bid enough and he regretted it. I heard him say it out of his own mouth. I should have paid the $4 billion. That's what they going for. That's what they're going for. He didn't miss it because he was black. He missed it because he didn't bid high enough. I didn't get mad and say, oh, you know what? Steak and Shake told my black ass I couldn't get a Steak and Shake. No, I just didn't fit in a certain criteria. That didn't mean I couldn't buy one. I just couldn't buy it under their program. It wasn't because I was black. I know a lot of people, they ain't gonna let your black ass have one. Yes, they would. Because it ain't about black or white or purple or maroon. It's about green. It's about green. And if I could have got the location that I wanted, I probably would have done self-financing on the project. I just didn't want to do that because I didn't want to live. The one that I would have been able to get was in Manson, Ohio somewhere, hours away from my home in Ohio. And I didn't want to do that. I would have had to buy another property and I would have had to do a lot of stuff. And I don't even know the arrangement of Manson, Ohio. The one that I was offered was not going to be conducive to my life at this time. So I'm going to let all them guys who got y'all on edge and mad at everybody every day about political bullshit, I'm gonna let them keep you entertained with that nonsense. I just wish I'm gonna give you a fair warning right now, though, folks. I'm gonna give you a fair warning. That type of mentality don't work on how we do shit over here. So it's not going to work. You're going to have the wrong key. All right. What we talk about over here, take a certain key. You got to have a certain key to open your mind to be able to execute the things that we talk about here. Your mind can be consumed with a bunch of nonsense. It's not gonna help. That's the wrong. You got the wrong key on your ring. If you think that shit, you be over places listening to certain things, and oh, we got to do better when it comes down to this. We got to put people in office that's going to have, man. That shit is crazy. Okay. What you need to know is how to be self-sufficient economically. Once you learn that, you'll learn that the politicians need you. They got you thinking you need them. It's the most backward, craziest, manipulative way that you have been treated in this world. When you learn that they need you more than you need them, they'll move different. I'm gonna put this clip on. Thank you for everybody that stepped up and put a city in here of who you think has the most black millionaires. There's some people right now watching the show who pretend they not watching, who want to say something so bad. They really want to know where all these black millionaires are. Where are all these black millionaires? We got black millionaires? They ain't no black. They sellouts. That's what they saying. They got white wives. They got white husbands. They got Jewish husbands. They got Japanese husbands and wives. They sellouts. Fuck out of here with that. If you could get it, you would. Show me a person who don't want to be rich. And the distraction is all that shit they talk about. They know everything about something that don't really mean nothing to you, and they make you feel dumb because you don't know the dumb shit that they know. Now make that make sense. They could go all the way back and announce all the presidents since George Washington. They know all fucking 48 of them, 49. What president we on by now? 49 or some shit like that. They can name them and know what year and decade they served. They could tell you about their boards. They could tell you about the media person who was handling all their shit. They could tell you who was in control of the NAACP that era, and they could tell you why Rosa Parks didn't get off the bus. They could tell you all that shit. Thank you, Vernon. Thanks for unblocking me, Vernon. Thank you. Thank you. They can tell you the history of a whole bunch of shit that you've been learning wrong. But they can't tell you how to be in this group that I'm about to tell you. I'm about to show you. So let me show you this by no further. You don't have to wait no longer. I know I'm talking. But let me show you this group right here, okay? I want you to listen to my man. And I want you to listen to John Bryant. He's going to tell you what city has the most black millionaires. Check it out.
Boom. Yes, we. Boom. So here are the top cities in America for black millionaires. Atlanta, 10,000 plus, could be as much as 20,000, depending how you calculate. Boom. Yes, we. Boom. So here are the top cities in America for black millionaires. Atlanta, 10,000 plus, could be as much as 20,000, depending how you calculate black wealth.
Atlanta. For those that said Atlanta, congratulations. I don't think there's any losers here. If you said a city, I've seen cities on here, and every one of those cities that you mentioned is in this group. So there's 10,000, there's up to 20,000 black millionaires in Atlanta. And I'm going to tell you one thing. This is a guess. This is a guess from me. This is just an assumption. This is a guess. 20 million millionaires in the city of Atlanta. I don't think they're all in the city of Atlanta. I think they're in Atlanta and in the surrounding cities. Okay? Now, check it. I'm going to tell you that most of the people that live in Atlanta that are multimillionaires that are black are not from Atlanta. That's just I'm just guessing. Okay, it's an educated guess because I've seen so many people travel to Atlanta, move their businesses to Atlanta, started their businesses in Atlanta, and they prospered. So Atlanta is the #1 city. Now listen to the rest. Y'all not wrong. Check it.
It includes business ownership, real estate appreciation, high income professionals, the salary, their income, and inheritance are all major contributors. And because Atlanta is steep in black political power, cultural and corporate success, entertainment and media wealth, and generational black influence, it has a head start, and it's been focused on that repeatedly as a head start on other cities. Here are some other cool cities that have some good numbers. Washington, D.C. has 8,000 plus black millionaires. I'm gonna give you the full numbers now. Atlanta is estimated between 10,000 and 25,000. Yeah, that's a wide range, but when you start calculating home equity into that, it boosts the numbers. But I'm just gonna give you the range. So a minimum of 10,000 in Atlanta, upwards of 25,000. Black millionaires. Washington, D.C., 8,000 with upwards of potentially 18,000. New York City, you think New York would be first, wouldn't you? New York City, 7,000 black millionaires, upwards of 15,000. Houston, Texas, 5,000 black millionaires, upwards of as much as 10,000 black millionaires. Los Angeles, the city of my birth, great city, 4,000 black millionaires, upwards of 8,000 black millionaires. My guess is a lot of that comes from entertainment, which is headquartered in Los Angeles. Chicago, 4,000 black millionaires, as many as 9,000. Dallas, Texas, 4,000, as many as 8,000 black millionaires. Charlotte, North Carolina, 3,000 black millionaires, upwards of 6,000 in Charlotte. Miami, with this number includes Afro-Caribbean people, 3,000 to 6,000 black millionaires. Philadelphia, 3,000 to 5,000 black millionaires. But the standout winner is Atlanta, Georgia. And there's a lot of reasons for it. It's the biggest economy, by the way, it's the biggest economy in the traditional South. It's the only international city in the traditional South. It's the 10th largest economy in the United States of America. It's the busiest airport in the world. It has been part of the founding of America. It was where the Civil War ended when Secretary of War Stanton and General Sherman stood their ground and burned Atlanta to the ground to stop the Confederate Army. This was the March to the Sea, where former slave people joined in, leading Atlanta. But this broke the back of the Confederate spirit and really won the war for Lincoln. Lincoln won re-election right after Atlanta. So here comes Lincoln, the ability to gain a true national unity for the country after the Civil War. That was Atlanta. Then the Civil Rights Movement. Once again, here comes Ambassador Andrew Young, my mentor, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., all the heroes and sheroes, Reverend C.T. Vivian, Coretta Scott King, all the heroes and sheroes who made the Civil Rights Movement possible. So you had Civil War, Civil Rights, and now what I call Silver Rights, from the streets to the suites. And so here comes the March on Capitol. Not the March on the Capitol, the March on Capital, CAPITAL. Economics, the color's not black or white or red or blue. In the city too busy to hate, the color's green. And that's why our partnership with the city of Atlanta, which is now multifaceted, it includes child savings accounts for every kid in kindergarten. So we're raising up new citizens, new stakeholders, new owners, new shareholders, new financially literate, empowered young people. That's why our partnership with Georgia State University and all the HBCUs, Clark Atlanta University, Morehouse and Spelman, and Atlanta Public Schools, doing AI pipeline to prosperity, AI literacy pipeline to prosperity. AILP3 is part of the AI Ethics Council that Sam Altman and I co-chair. That was just launched last week with our first 50 young people with AI solutions for the future. That's why our partnership with the City of Atlanta, with the Atlanta Public Schools, Atlanta Police Department, and now Atlanta Fire Safety, to teach them, to give the employees their financial literacy training and education. That's why all this stuff is so powerful. And all of my entities are headquartered in Atlanta as a force for good, the moral capital for America. You can do well and do good. You can be a beacon for good capitalism. This is the John Bryant from the headquarters reporting out from Civil Rights. Peace and light. Boom.
You gotta love it. Civil rights. I love it. But just think, he did all
Boom.
that.
Yes, we.
Sorry about that. Let me.
Boom.
Sorry about that, guys. Let me get that out of here. He did all of that talking about. Hold on. Sorry. He did all that talking about how many millionaires were in the cities. I don't know. Were y'all counting? Were you paying attention to the overall number? Were you paying attention to the, you have to, sometimes there was a broad number, there was a huge number in between, like from 10 to 20, maybe 25 millionaires, 1,000 millionaires. The reason why is because you can be a millionaire on paper. You can have $1 million house, okay? And the equity that you have in the house may put you close to being a millionaire. You might have $750,000 worth of equity, and you might have stock portfolio that's worth $100,000 or $200,000 or close to $300,000, and that would put you at millionaire status. So it all depends on how they're doing their evaluations of how you become a millionaire. You can be a millionaire on paper, maybe not liquid, but just on paper, because of your investments, because of the equity in your properties and things of that nature. You do not have to be self-employed, or you do not have to be an entrepreneur to be a millionaire. You can have a steady 9 to 5, or you can have a steady job and be a millionaire if you do your money right. So, I mean, my thing is, now the difference is the entrepreneurial way, the ownership way gives you full control of what you're doing. I'm not against you being a millionaire and you work for Procter & Gamble, but you ain't gonna call no shots at Procter & Gamble, and you're not gonna change anything at Procter & Gamble other than what you do for your job. But if you're a millionaire and you run your own shop, you call the shots. You leave your kids a legacy of that business and direction of what they could possibly be doing in life, whatever. You can't necessarily hire your children at Procter & Gamble. You can put a good word in for them. You can walk out with close to $2 million in retirement with stock options and things of that nature. You will do well. You might be, after you retire and live off the money and do what you do, you might be able to leave your kids something, but you ain't going to leave your kids Procter & Gamble. And that's not a knock. That's not a slight. I'm just saying there is a difference between the two. But now, if y'all not learning anything today, I don't know what else I can do. I don't have to talk about politics. I'd rather not. Politics don't teach you or talk to you like this. Politics don't tell you to go buy stock. Politics puts you out in the street and have you protesting and mad at somebody. It's been 25 years since I've woken up mad at somebody. I'm going to wake up today and I know I'm going after somebody. I just don't wake up like that anymore. I don't wake up thinking about ops. I distance myself from people that could be that way one day. Like, I know to get away from people that I know that I'm probably going to have an issue with. You ain't going to get me to the point where I think about you and I'm like, oh, you know what? I got to deal with this motherfucker today. I've been done with that type of life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I categorize the people that I deal with, right? I think we all do. Ladies, y'all do it beautifully. Men do it too, but in a different kind of way. But I'm just saying, I don't wake up saying, oh, I got to deal with it. No, I don't have staff like that. I don't have staff members that I say, oh, shit, I got to go deal with Teresa ass today. I know she going to have the books towed up and this. And I don't hire like that. You're out of here before we even get to the point where you just bothering us and getting on our nerve. You got to go. We don't want to talk about soap operas, and we don't want to talk about love and hip hop in the office. We don't do shit like that. We get to the bag. We talk about how we can make more, how we can be better than we were yesterday. I ain't got time for people problems. Not my problems, not they problems. Your problems can't become my problem. Think about the shit you go through on your job. Most of the shit that you talk about and deal with on your job with the people that are just job working people, It's issues and drama and chaos and dysfunctional behavior. That's what it is in these jobs. And then when you go in and get your 25-cent raise, you wonder why they being so motherfucking stingy. Because you're never talking about how to make the company grow. You ain't reaching over to Teresa Cuticle. Girl, you know what? I got this idea. We can bring in 12% more on this company if we only do it this way. And we're going to go talk to John, who's the VP of our division, and we're going to show him how we're going to make this thing grow. They ain't talking like that. Those are assets to company. Those are people that work for companies that the company they want to invest in those people. Those are the people that get the high-end promotions and the high-end, salaries. They don't want people talking about love and hip hop and R. Kelly going to jail. And they don't want to talk about we can't vote no more. They don't want to talk about that. That's not what's happening. So leave me out of those conversations. There's plenty of platforms that you can get a dose of that nonsense from. This ain't it. They already know how much sugar to add to your Kool-Aid. They already know. So leave me out of that shit. I don't want to deal with them people. Them people are starting to float up out of this program that we have over here. And a lot of them don't even deserve the information that we bring over here. They'd rather talk about Byron Allen's personal shit than to capitalize off of what Byron Allen is bringing to the table that you can capitalize. They don't even know how to listen to it. They don't even know how to hear what he's telling you. So why would I entertain? I'm not trying to talk to nobody like that, bro. They got song and dance and games on their mind. They ain't talking about what we talking about. Out of here with that. We hustlers. We natural born hustlers. Whether we get up and work our 9 to 5 every day, we get up and go to work when we don't feel like it. We get up and go to work when we don't really want to go there. We get up and go to work. We hustle. We entrepreneurs. We do everything we supposed to do to live the next day. Some of us just know how to execute better than others. But that don't mean we should leave them behind. That means we should teach them. Everybody should look out for everybody. But trust and believe, everybody don't deserve that. Everybody don't deserve that. Go to the phone lines before I get out of here. I got to get out of here, though, but I'm going to the phone lines. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Yes, your boy, Twin.
Twin, good afternoon to you, brother. How you doing today?
I'm all right so far, man.
What's good? Why you so? What's up, man? What happened? You sound down. You good?
No, man, I can't talk like I want to. My son here butting me, my mouth swollen, so I can't.
You say what?
I said my son here butted me, my mouth swollen.
Okay. I thought you said something about butter. You said head butted you. Okay. Yeah. Your son already beating your ass over there, huh?
Man, I want to thump his little head. It's irritating, and I can't move my mouth really, man. That stuff. It's irritating. I know that.
I hear you. But what's on your mind today, Twin?
No, I was listening. I dozed off, and then I guess something told me to wake up to the good part and all that. I was just mad because he put my city at number 6.
What, Chicago?
Most millionaires.
Hey, that's
no, but it is what it. I was listening, and I feel like, I expect Atlanta to be number 1 because predominantly black folks down there thriving and all that.
Yeah.
But have you ever met him before, Wyatt?
Met who?
John Bryant.
I have. I've met him in person. We've talked. I don't have his phone number. I'm not gonna front. I don't contact him like that. But like, if I send a message on, I've gotten responses from him before. Because I've had questions about certain things.
Yeah. Okay.
Now,
like a lot of seminars and all that.
Let me just say this to you, bro. I don't want to be like I'm not trying to sound like some fan. I have reached out, had some serious questions about certain things, and got a response back. That doesn't mean that he sent it. It meant maybe somebody on his team, maybe he responded. I don't know. But according to the respond that I got back, it came from him. But he may have a media person that handles that, or social media person that handles that. I don't know.
Oh, okay. But I was just listening earlier. I was looking in the chat too at Steven P. What he said.
About
He
what?
said, your zip code and your health determines something. He said, forgot what it was. Just determines your credit score. I believe in that part.
Now I don't believe that, but okay.
I said I don't believe. I mean, he said it. I mean, in the chat, I'm wondering what's your take on that.
No, I don't think that your credit score is based on
Your zip code and your health.
Now, I think that
etc.
I think there are some things that your zip code does play a part in when it comes down to certain things that can affect your credit score. Yes, such as your insurance. Your insurance can be judged on your zip code based on the liability and the risk where you are. I don't know about I'm in the insurance game, and I've never heard that it affects your credit score. Maybe your zip code shows your where you live, home ownership, and that value, which if you have a mortgage on a property, a zip code can play a part in how much equity you may have. Like, for instance, if you have $100,000 equity in a property in Indian Hill, it probably will affect your credit score a little bit more than $100,000 worth of equity in a higher risk community. Let's just say not downtown Cincinnati, because that community is becoming a little bit more prosperous for equity. But let's just say Western Hills, the West Side. If you have $100,000 house that's paid off, and you have pure $100,000 worth of equity in that house, they still consider the area that the house is in because of the risk factor of the home losing value in its surrounding area. See what I'm saying? Versus equity, $100,000 equity in Indian Hill will probably stick with less certain things. You know what I'm saying? Certain things that are and it has nothing to do with black and white. It's about safety. It's about how equity stands in a piece of property. Like, you can lose equity in a property that's in a higher crime area. You can lose that overnight. If enough stuff keep on happening in downtown Cincinnati, and they start moving out of downtown Cincinnati, and people don't want to live downtown Cincinnati, what do you think happens to those properties that they move out of? They don't get reoccupied. People just don't buy them. And when that happens, it happens in Chicago. Just the opposite with Chicago, people not wanting to buy those properties. Twin, I took a bunch of pictures when I was in Chicago of properties. Matter of fact, I'm going to shoot one on the screen while I'm talking to you. I took pictures while I was in downtown Chicago off of Michigan Ave on that side. And I was looking at properties. Here's one, 10,900.
You talking the one that's boarded up?
No, I'm talking about properties that they're trying to lease. There's a ton of properties in downtown Chicago that they're trying to lease, and that tears up the equity. I mean, that tears up property value. And the reason why is because it becomes a buyer's market. It becomes a renter's market. There's so much property available downtown Chicago that the property values are starting to go down. People are starting to sell them, and they're trying to get rid of them. Here's one. I'm gonna put it on the screen right there. That's a retail. That's River East, retail River East, downtown Chicago. There's the contact information if y'all want to know. Steve Schwartz. I don't know him. I just happened to take this picture. It was right on the street of where my hotel was. 10,900. That's 11,000 square feet that's available. And there's so many of those pieces of property downtown Chicago that's available. So what happens to your property value when all of this available property is there is you have to start taking less money. So the property value goes down. The value of being there, it just goes down. So you have to pay attention to, I don't know if it necessarily does anything to your credit score, but I think that they do. I think that they do look at some things of what area certain property that you own is in to see how it holds up in its property value. I think that does play some part in it from the equity side of it, not because, not because like I don't think it's a racial thing.
So,
That's for sure.
so I was when I seen it, look, when I saw it on his, when I just seen it in the comment, I'm like, it's kind of like racist or something like that. Say for instance, say for instance, Wind Terrace, right? And then behind Wind Terrace, what they call it, Spring Grove or Winter Hills. Well, them houses at Winter Hill. See, I got property over there, 100,000. Then you got Wind Terrace right there. So do they look at it like that, combine the equity and all that, even though I got that 100,000 there, like, well, you know how these projects right here ran down, they like, I don't know how it's operated like that.
Do you think who is looking at it like that? Who you talking
like
about?
The insurance or your health and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Insurance companies do it for home insurance and automobile insurance and personal life insurance. They all look at where you live and how
so
you
they
go.
Probably do got a point on that one then.
Well, that has nothing to do with racial. That's all about the safety. That's the importance of your city council.
So tell me this then, why I heard this a couple of years ago. Why I didn't know. I was staying in Lincoln Heights, right?
Okay.
And then it was on the radio station. I forgot. I don't know if it was who one of them guys. They say Indian Hill pay more or less taxes than village of Lincoln Heights.
It's possible.
Yeah, they mentioned it, and I said, and I've been through Indian Hills, nice house, and now I'm like, with the small village of Lincoln Heights and everything, and a little revenue coming through, and they got a big revenue coming out there in Indian Hill. I said, that's kind of different and odd.
Okay,
you're looking at why is that? Why?
Let me clear it up for you. See, this is how Democrats do their constituents. They say things like that without clear understanding of what's going on. Let me ask you a question first. Let's just try to make it make sense, because I know where that came from. I'm familiar with that conversation from a couple years ago. I know exactly where that came from. I never said anything about it because you can't fix a made up mind. All right. So those that want to try to shoot me down and tell me what I'm about to tell you is wrong, I'll be able to prove it to them. They probably know not to say anything to me about it because either they haven't looked it up or they don't know it to be true or factual. But here's the thing. Let me ask you the question first. Do you think a person who owns a house in Indian Hill, a house that's worth $5 million, and then you have a person that has a house in Lincoln Heights, which is zone 15 out there, right? Do you think the person that has a house that's worth $200,000 in Lincoln Heights pays more in taxes on that $200,000 than a person that has a house that's $2 million in Indian Hill? Do you interpret it that way when you hear what they said about people in Lincoln Heights pay more in taxes? Do you think that the person that has a $200,000 house pay more taxes than the person that has a $2 million house in Indian Hill? Do you think that that's the case?
No.
Okay, so why does that make sense when somebody says that to you?
I didn't believe it because I don't believe that. I feel like their value in whatever their area type, however they basis off that or whatever. I figure like that's how they go off the tax whatever the tax revenue.
Here's the thing.
However they break it down.
Here's the thing.
Around that area.
Here's the thing. In different areas, they equate the properties values a little bit different. Like you can do that in all different. They didn't tell you that all neighborhoods don't pay the same amount. It just so happens that if you have a $2 million house in Indian Hill and you have a $200,000 house, the Indian Hill person might pay a percentage lower because the house is $2 million. But a person that has a $200,000 house in Lincoln Heights might pay 6% in tax. Okay. The person that has a $4 million or $2 million house in Indian Hill might pay, what did I say? 6 on in they may pay 4%. It sounds unfair, but if you look at the numbers, the Lincoln Heights house is not paying nearly as much as the $2 million house in Indian Hill. And then here's the other thing. The Lincoln Heights house might have they might have a lot more to cover in the levies and all that type of stuff that go on. All these different, they don't all pay the same into the same thing. Like, I hate the fact that my property values in Hamilton County, the largest part of the taxes on the property taxes on Hamilton County go towards Cincinnati Public Schools. That burns a hole in my ass because they don't have a great school system. Do you understand what I'm saying? They don't. So the majority of the taxes paid on property in Hamilton County go towards a school system that has below average scores and things of that nature.
And I heard that I heard that today. Why? They said, why the hell am I paying for these levies in these schools and these damn teachers ain't teaching no curriculum and all that extra stuff?
Don't put it on the parents. Don't put it on. I get tired of people don't put it on the teachers. I get tired of people putting all the shit on the teachers.
No, I'm just going back.
I'm not saying you. I'm
going
talking about
what was quoted of.
I know,
and
I was responding to the quote. Don't put it on the teachers. See what I'm saying? The teachers can only teach what's there. They have a high truancy level in Cincinnati Public School. They have people that don't want to be in school because they're not motivated to be in school. You got parents that don't motivate kids to go to school. There is nothing wrong with Cincinnati Public School. It is the parents and the people that put their kids in them schools. You can go to Cincinnati Public School. You might not have the greatest, highest level Ivy League education, but you can get an education in Cincinnati Public School that will make you proficient in this world to go off and be something great, own your own thing, or go work for Procter & Gamble for 40 years. You can get an education in Cincinnati Public School, but you cannot blame public schools, or you cannot blame the teachers for kids that don't want to be there and don't want to learn and not motivated to be there. Or parents that had kids that can't take care of them, or who chose to do things where they can't get public assistance and can't get housing. And now you have made it tough for not only yourself, but the kids that you had. That's not Cincinnati Public Schools' problem or their fault. It is their problem, but it's not their fault.
But do you think they teaching them more easier stuff than we've been taught?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Because I ain't need a shade of. I got some relatives and people like, ain't no way in hell you passed, you graduated and all that. I used to say it to my kids too.
Well, I'm going to say
I ain't never seen you with a book. I ain't seen you study.
Listen, man.
Only I saw you with a laptop. That's it.
Listen, brother. Listen, bro. Listen, man. I'm not going to name any names, okay? But I know some guys that couldn't read when I graduated. I'm talking about from Cincinnati Public School. If they can dunk and play basketball or hit somebody on the football field, they were just given a pass going through school. I believe public education has done that a lot. Okay, I think that that's one of the problems that I can blame on the school for sure, is that they'll let an athlete or they'll let a high profile person or something of that nature skate through school because that kid has a gift to be able to make it to the next level without school, and that kid probably wouldn't stand a chance if they were scrutinized with school, if you want to call it that. If school was put as a priority for that kid, they probably would not have had the opportunity athletically. I know that sounds dangerous and it sounds nasty, but it's the truth. School is not for everyone, okay? And here's the thing. That ain't no black or white thing. There's white kids that went through school for their talent as well. Weren't the greatest, wasn't the greatest student in the world, but they were athletically inclined and they went on to do things. And, athletics is what made them who they are today. And they were just not students. They just weren't students. And that doesn't have a color on it. But I can't stand it when you have a school system in place. Now, to answer your question about do I think they teach them, are they dumbing it down? Yeah, I think a little bit. But now let me say, like I said, they've been letting guys slide through school since I was a kid. I mean, like I knew dudes that left school that I could tell you a guy that went to Taft High School. I looked up to him when it came to basketball. He never went to class. I bet he can't read to this day.
No.
He never went to class because they would let him go to the gym and shoot jumpers and layups and dunk all day. He took 5 or 6 classes of gym and they let him go to school. Now he ended up playing ball overseas. He didn't go to the NBA, but you know, I'm pretty sure a dude like that can't read or write. And I know him. I know him personally.
Yeah. Well, you've been to 3 countries, right? You said
I've been to a few countries. I've lived in 3 countries. But yeah,
I've been to you said yesterday. Okay. You speak different languages, English?
I speak a couple.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering.
No, I'm not fluent. I'm not fluent in German. I never have been fluent in German. I know a little bit.
Spanish and stuff.
Yeah, I can speak Spanish, but I don't speak German like fluently. Like I
always wanted to ask you, since you had mentioned it yesterday and in the past, see what other language you know since you lived overseas and all that.
Yeah,
I was just wondering.
Yeah.
And
then I didn't live in I didn't go to American. I didn't live I didn't live like on American. I didn't go to American schools in Spain. I didn't go to I had to go to a school that
you graduated over there or just went to college or something?
No, I graduated from Hanau, is in Europe. I graduated from Hanau High School, and then I went to Munich University in Munich, Germany.
Oh, so you ain't played no ball or nothing like that?
Yeah, I did, but not at that level. I wasn't a professional in Europe. Okay, I just played ball in school, in college, and then my uncle, he played pro ball in Europe. He played for a basketball team. I went out and I tried out. It didn't work out.
Yeah, I just thought you had graduated from like TAF or one of them and then left or went overseas.
No, I
came back.
I went to Withrow up until the 10th grade.
Yeah.
Okay, I was in 10th grade, maybe 11th. I don't remember. 10th grade going into the 11th, I believe. And I left. I had to leave.
I'm gonna close with this, man. It was sad, man, seeing that video. I think Alethea posted in his Wyatt Live group.
What was it?
The 9-year-old, man.
I didn't. You talking about what she came on and talked about?
Yeah, I thought she posted in a Wyatt Live chat too.
Oh, okay.
But I was saying it, but it was sad, man. Why, you remember back in the good old days, man? We would go to the movies or I don't know. We got Jules and Oscar Drugs up there in Chicago, Dominic's and other different stores. We were hustling. We knew better not to go really in the mall because we knew you got the renegade cops and stuff that arrest you and stuff.
You kind of knew where to go and where not to go. I got you.
Yeah, but at least he ain't out there selling dope, man, or selling at the blocks, selling happy packs of weed or something like that.
Yeah. But he's also
man, handcuff a 9-year-old like that, man. He ain't causing no harm. Even though, the people always say they're bringing the business down and clientele, other extra stuff. But man, that's what I just like them water boys there, because I helped them a lot too, Wyatt. That was on across from what's that, Withrow?
Yeah.
Is that Withrow?
From Woodward.
No, Woodward. I helped them a lot because I just said just be careful. Because I heard on the radio saying it was hot out there, and they was making a hustle, man. I did that before. Making a hustle, they wasn't knocking each other, because they could have been at McDonald's crashing out or something like that. What do you want these little kids? At least they hustling, they ain't doing nothing wrong. It's dangerous though.
There you go.
It's dangerous,
okay.
And I just say be careful, because man, to be honest, I even get
now
the hook up, and I say, here, man, just be careful. He said, what you want for? I don't want nothing. I'm just helping you out, man. Just be careful. And police, that people get out the street and all that. And, people used to call the police. And I sit there in Walgreens and watch and listen, man. And I told the police, man, I used to do that when I was a short. I said, them shorties, man, they just hustle, man. That's all, police. He said, I know, but, it's on the safety side. I said, I understand that. Okay. And we shook it up and left.
All right. Well, let's go back to what you said about the kid at the mall. Okay?
Yeah.
You said he's only hustling. It's unsafe, but he's only hustling. I think, sorry, that was somebody texting me. I believe that it's the duty of the police officers to keep kids safe who are in our streets. It's also the duty for them to keep businesses safe of things like what's going on. Like, for instance, Twin, if you invested a bunch of money into your shop that's in Kenwood Mall, say you have a coffee shop or convenience store type of a shop in Kenwood Mall. You pay high rent. You paying $3,000 a month. You got a family to take care of. You paying insurance. You paying your staff. You've invested $250,000 of your money into your business, and you sell Reese cups and Snicker bars and all that old stuff, right?
I know you go.
Yeah, okay. You got to think about that type of stuff as well. See, a lot of people don't think of the people that have invested and put their hard-earned money into their business. They always look at the small guy. You have to understand, just because a business owner is there does not make him a big guy. It makes him he or she can also be a small person just doing big things, and you don't need interruption. Those candy bars that young man's selling, this might be over the top for a lot of people to understand, but when you let one person come in and start selling a couple of items that your store is selling, here come another 2 or 3 people that start selling 2 or 3 different things that you're selling, and they shouldn't be out there doing it, and it's interrupting your business. That's like all those kids that were going downtown Cincinnati, and they were standing out and just, down at the bus stops, and they standing out in front of people's businesses. Sound innocent, don't it? Sound innocent.
Talking about like Hughes and stuff, for example.
All the schools that were going downtown. Okay. Everybody like, well, they ain't doing nothing. They might have an occasional fight and this, that. They might not be doing anything on the surface that you can see. But how many businesses are they interrupting? How many people? My sister-in-law said she gets off work. She can't even walk through those kids. Because she has to go catch the bus to go to her car. Those kids are insulting. They do think you don't want to be involved. And as soon as you say something to one of them, they're going to jump your ass, or they're going to make fun of you. See what I'm saying? That it's not funny, but I'll be honest. Think of the business owner who has the little deli downtown, and all the kids are loitering around his business, and it's stopping his customers from coming in. Nobody wants to walk over there because, and here go the crazy thing. Everybody was concerned. They even made the liquor store move because they were more focused on the liquor store. The kids are going in there and they're stealing shit and they're stealing alcohol. They're more concerned about that than they are the 10 or 15 businesses that were being affected by the kids standing outside and people not wanting to go in and patronize their businesses. See, that's a certain mentality as well, bro. People don't even think about the people that they think are big guys. Everybody thinks somebody that got something, they got it so they can afford to be treated different. That's what I hate about people that talk that privilege shit. They always talking about, well, he got it. Well, you don't know what it takes to have a little bit. You don't know if a person that owns a store is one bad week out of closing. One bad week. If they don't sell 30% of their inventory this week, they're out of business. If they don't sell 20% on a consistent basis, they're out of business. But they got this big shiny building that they've invested all this money into, and you think it's okay to interrupt their business because they got it. And that's people who don't have shit who think like that. So it only makes sense that a person who don't understand those sacrifices and don't understand how to get shit, they think that because somebody got something, it's like a car. You can have $100,000 car and people will be like, well, he got it. Well, wait a minute. That man make a $3,000 a month payment and he's killing himself to have that car. He can't afford for the window to be broke out because he got $1,000. He got $1,000 deductible. And they don't even think about that shit. They just think, well, shit, he drive $100,000 car. He probably can afford shit. You got it. Give me $15. Man, get the fuck out of here. I work every day to get mine. I don't have any room for people like you to come in here thinking shit sweet.
So why when a Girl Scout, I don't know, when a Girl Scout sell 8 cookies and all that, it's not a problem.
They get
but
permission.
When we do it, it's a problem.
Don't go there, twin. When was the last time you seen the Girl Scouts standing in the mall?
It's been a while.
Okay, because they have to get permission to do that. And if they ever do it on their own, if they ever go to Kroger, now I see them standing outside Kroger.
I'm not just talking about no mall and all that.
Well, I just brought up Kroger, but I guarantee you some troop leader from Girl Scouts calls and makes arrangement with Kroger and say, can we stand out for a couple hours? If they tell them no and they go do it anyway, they gonna get treated the same way, bro. They're gonna get treated just like the little boy. They're gonna be asked them, they're gonna ask them to leave 10, 15 times, and eventually they're gonna lose patience and call the police on the Girl Scouts.
So if them little young fellas was out there had a street vendor license, they couldn't do nothing to them, say nothing to them.
Sure you can. Street vendor license just gives you permission to sell. It don't give you a permission to sell anywhere you feel like it. You get a street.
You gonna open up shop anywhere.
No, you can't just. Okay, so in other words, I go get a street vendor's license. I can go in Kroger's and start selling lunch meat.
No, man.
Well, why not? Why not? I got a street vendor's license.
Like you can go to the setup shop in the park.
Right, but it's not on Kroger's grounds, right?
I mean, no, not really.
So what makes you think that people who sell candy bars or whatever in the mall, why do you think that the mall will allow somebody with a vendor's license to come in?
I wouldn't say going in a mall. Come on, man.
But that's what we were talking about.
I mean, it was he should have hustled outside. I see if it was outside, yeah, and all that. But because I know people that did that, but I would never went in that mall and did it because, like you said, we reverse it back that you knocking somebody else the business on the hustle.
I can guarantee you this. I can guarantee you this, brother. And I gotta go. It's 4:00. I really gotta go. I got a client waiting on my call. But let me just say this to you: if that little boy was selling candy bars or Snicker bars or M&Ms in Washington Park, there wouldn't have been no problem.
No, most definitely.
Right, but he was selling candy on a prohibited area because he's not supposed to be there. I'm sure they told him, several times, but he was doing what he wanted to do because that was me as a kid. I ain't gonna lie, I'm guilty of that. But that being said, if he was coached the right way, they would put him in a position where he can win. You don't put people in a position.
What caused him to go to jail though? Handcuffed and all that extra stuff.
Because he broke the rules, twin. He broke the rules, man. He broke the rules, and that's what happened when you break rules, when you break laws, and when you're told to do something and you don't do it and you want to do shit your way. These are the consequences. And that little man should have a parent in his life to teach him that, and he don't.
I wonder if little Bobby was up there, white boy, would it be?
Why y'all always go there? I just
told you. You
gotta
go there.
But I just told you.
You gotta go there in today's society.
But I just told you about the Girl Scouts. How many black Girl Scouts have you seen selling cookies at Kroger?
You don't too many see a lot of black girls selling damn Girl Scouts.
And here go the difference. Here go the difference. And of course, people gonna tell me, if
Bobby go through the mall, hey, this is the Bobby Elk Grove out of Indian Hills. We just want a donation for our baseball. Oh, don't worry about it. Whole time Bobby them hustle.
Okay, let me ask you
little
something.
Jimmy and all them. Come on, man.
Let me ask you something. Since we creating novels and shit right now, we making comic books again. Let me ask you something. How many times did they tell Bobby to leave?
Probably none.
Okay, all right.
Because you know
what else you got?
That renegade cop bought one from him. He go buy another out there wear out when he do his little 2 miles around the mall. He come to get one.
Hey, twin, you might want to skip tomorrow's show because that mentality ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna help. You ain't gonna get what I'm talking about.
I can't skip tomorrow ride with you, homie.
You ain't gonna be able to relate what I'm talking about tomorrow. Then you might want to sit this one out because that type of mentality of
what's tomorrow? Give me a snippet of what's tomorrow.
You just come in and then come in slow, and then you might want to exit and stage left because you ain't gonna get it because mentalities
I'm off
like
tomorrow.
that.
I got time.
Mentalities
1
like
o'clock,
that,
right?
Mentalities like that don't make it, bro. It's just not gonna happen.
I mean, okay. I mean, my opinion and what I said.
It's your opinion. You right, bro. And I respect
disagree.
it. I respect it, but I just had a conversation today that I'm not gonna be on that. Well, if it was that, see, I'm not doing that. If Byron Allen had $4 billion, he would have been able to buy the Broncos, the Denver Broncos. You know how many people said, "Oh shit, if he was a white boy, they would have sold it for $3 billion." That sounds foolish to me. They wanted $4 billion and they got $4 billion from any green, purple, blue, Jap or Japanese, Asian, Jewish person, black person, whoever brought the $4 billion to the table, got it. But you know how many people I heard say they ain't gonna sell him no NFL team? He even said it out his own mouth. Man, I should have gone ahead and stepped up and paid that $4 billion. He would have got the franchise. But you know how many people had that mentality? Oh man, they ain't gonna never sell no franchise to no black person. They ain't, if it would have been a white boy, they would have took the 2.7 billion or the 3 billion. That sounds foolish to me, bro. And I ain't got time for that type of shit. I ain't got time. They told me, if you was white, they would have sold you that Steak and Shake. How the fuck they know that? How they know that? They don't even know the circumstances of the deal that I was working. So how you gonna tell me that if I was a white boy, I would have been able to buy the Steak and Shake of my choice? That sound foolish, and I ain't got time for foolish people. Not in 2026. We cutting that shit off. What else you got, twin?
Let's say your foolish. Know what you just said.
I'm a hustler, bro, and it's time to show you how to work this hustle game a different
kind
of way.
Ain't no wrong with that.
All right,
I'll
bro.
see what you will do about. All right, be safe, man.
All right, brother. Thanks for engaging with us, man. Nothing but love. Talk to you soon. Peace and love to everybody, man. I got to go. Y'all know I'm losing patience for that nonsense. I'm a hustler, and I'm always going to be a hustler, and I'm going to show you how to hustle the right way. Peace and love. See y'all tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
American hustler. While rubbing elbows in the hills of high society, I look back at my life and realize the hood lied to me. Build the bullshit, sense of pride inside of me. Shit, they ain't even stick to the codes that they provided me. I go hard like I'm supposed to, see I'm trying to be level-headed so I don't show you the dark side of me. I'm a boss and the boss is what you're trying to be. Jealous roots of poverty help us develop rivalries. Corporate America seems to be scared of us. There's nowhere to prepare for us, got to break for us. The streets taught us to bond with what would better us, and all competitors that ain't dead are marked for death with us. Street entrepreneur, hustler to the core. Catch a come up, then come up a little more. Silver spoon in your mouth, you ain't get it out the mud. You don't even know what I'm chatting about. American hustler. American hustler. I'm a motherfucking hustler. American hustler. If niggas say the money ain't changed them, they ain't made enough. Cause niggas will change right around you, so you ain't gave enough. Entitlement is real shit, boy, I ain't make it up. So when that paper coming, you got to know how to break it up. Income to fuck shit right when you caking up. Batter ran to your front door right while you waking up. Every time shit going smooth, they gotta shake it up. Who done told the feds some bullshit, now they got us cuffed. Look around here, nigga, there ain't a lot to love. These bitches ain't shit, they telling on the plugs. I don't think shit going how it's supposed to be. We cool from a distance, I just don't want you close to me. Got trust issues cause niggas you trust get you. Have all kind of time to think about how they did you. Sit and flash back to moments when it was lit. What kind of real nigga look right at you and snitch? I've been rich so I could pay for it. Dr. J in the bank, scoring title in the paint. Ray Kroc on my block, double cup my purple drink. They watching me close, even reading my lips. Busting the 4-5, then I'm pleading the 5th. And I'm leaving as if that's a meeting I missed. Such a wonderful time, even blew him a kiss. Timberland rich, $250 a beat. Used to see his new crib. Even came with the street, still be touching the white. Talking that Bubba Spark, cause it got a double R on it if it's one of us. Run along, boy, if you don't want a war. I got a prize, motherfucker, it's the Pulitzer. Whoop. Whoop. It's Pharaoh De Niro. They say that the flow is facetious. Fat boy, you keep feeling the bleachers. Went from selling yayo in the nosebleeds. Young niggas only got rich with the wrong things. I'm thankful for melodies that the song bring. Rhyming longer than prison sentences in New Orleans. My nigga did a dub, now he out the fed. Shit is hard to feel the love when you taking meds. Them Percocets, they had me on the ledge. 20 million cash, yes, that's called success. 1,000 acres, my own metropolis. And he still hustle with dominance. Niggas faking, I could tell by the pics. Instagram should take down your page for all those counterfeits. Getting money is still booby gang. No colors, no flags, just let the toolie